Drinking beer and watching sports is pretty awesome, and one of the few things on par is drinking beer and playing video games. But dropping all that cash on games that end up collecting dust after you're done with them sucks. But there's no sense in trading in old games unless you really want 25 cents off your new one. There's a better way, GameFly.
GameFly has over 8,000 new releases and classics available to rent for Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, PS Vita, Wii U, Wii, and 3DS, as well as older systems. As a GameFly member, you can rent as many console and handheld games as you want and get them delivered right to your mailbox for one low monthly fee.
And if you like a game so much that you don't want to send it back, you can keep it for a low use price. There are never any due dates or late fees, and GameFly also offers the ability to rent Blu-ray and DVD movies as part of the regular service at no extra charge.
And right now, GameFly is offering fans of Craft Brewed Sports a premium free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. To get that free trial started today, just go to gameflyoffer.com/craftbrewedsports. That's gameflyoffer.com/craftbrewedsports. Or just head on over to our website, craftbrewedsports.com, and click the GameFly link in the menu bar. You're standing in the beer aisle staring at the same selection that was there last week and just wishing you could try something different. That's where Tavour comes in. Tavour is the best and easiest way for you to get the beers that you can't find in your favorite bottle shop.
No need to hunt down people to trade with or worry about sending some sketchy guy a PayPal account hoping that he delivers on the bottle that you want. Tavour has your back. They only work with independent breweries, so there's no risk of getting suckered into buying an InBev beer pretending to be a craft brew.
And it's insanely easy. Just sign up for your free account, download the Tavour app for your Android or iPhone, and you'll get notifications when new beers are ready. Just go to the app and click Get It, and they'll put the quantity requested aside for you and ship it to your door. You can ship as many beers as you want for a flat fee, and you can schedule your delivery as soon as 1 week and as late as 5 after you select the beer you want to buy.
And now, fans of Craft Brewed Sports can get $10 in credit after you buy your first beer through Tavour.com. Just go to our website, craftbrewedsports.com, and click the Tavour link in the menu bar. Create your free account, and after your first beer is shipped out, you'll see a $10 credit hit your account. There's no commitment, no contract, no gimmicks, just great beer delivered directly to your door.
Well, John Lester's pitching, so this is going to be a long game.
Oh, boy.
I hope they steal 30 bases. Oh, we're clapping. I don't know why. They haven't announced anyone. Getting ready to start here. Jose Ureña standing at the back of the mound. He reaches down. He's rubbing some dirt and rosin on his hand, and here we go. Oh, now he's writing something on the mound with his fingers next to the logo. I can't see what he's writing.
Pay supply.
Probably a tribute to a dead person, most likely.
Whoa, let's be gentle.
All right. He's, come on, Jose, let's get this started already.
Baseball's problem, right?
We'll
here.
wait you out.
Sitting
We'll wait
around.
you out for the zip line
Now
payout.
he just he kicked all over with his shoe. What he just wrote. Oh, here we go.
All right.
And the wind up and the pitch. Oh, God, a home run on the first pitch of the game. Oh, my God.
Welcome, Derek Jeter, and that concludes our Marlins coverage for the season.
Hey everybody, welcome to Craft Brewed Sports, and here we go. Mike and Scott. Well, Scott's supposed to be chugging, but of course he's just,
I'm
not
trying to
doing
share the show.
anything.
Shut up, Joe.
But here we go. Mike's just chugging his Guinness thanks to Tank. And let's see if we can just get all that goodness down. There you go. Come on, you can
Like
do
anybody's
it.
gonna be sad
you
that I
can
can't
do it.
get iced.
Oh, shit. Whew. Hey, everybody.
There.
Welcome to another
I still
edition
almost beat Mike.
of Craft Brewed Sports. I'm
That's
Mike.
my first alcoholic beverage in like 3 weeks.
That's a shame.
This is Craft Brewed Sports.
Whew.
You ready to tap this cake of sports knowledge, bro?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Oh, boy. Guinness is, I think the last time I chugged a Guinness was when I did a Irish car bomb.
Ooh.
And I forgot.
I miss Irish car bombs.
I forgot that in Irish car bombs it's not a full Guinness. It's only like a little bit of it, and that's a lot of Guinness to chug.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, welcome to the show. This is
That was both our punishments from me being a white motherfucker from a couple of weeks ago when I couldn't drink, coming off of surgery. So that's now squared away. Eventually, we'll have to go back to white motherfucker.
Eventually.
I'll maybe have to do that again, but probably not. There's a good chance Mike won't stop me.
And for, I'm paying off Tank's punishment from the season football season picks. In my punishment this week, if you've missed the last couple of weeks, I had to start off the show by chugging a Guinness. I have to end the show by doing a shot of Jameson, and in between, I got to eat a potato.
No condiments.
No condiments, no salt, no
Blue ball
pepper.
in it.
I got to eat potato, skin and all, just super Irish. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So this potato I baked, and then I tried to cut it into manageable chunks, and it just fell apart on me, so it became a mashed up potato with some skin mixed in.
Gross, bro.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Tank.
And then, all right, so we talked about it before the show. I ate way too much at dinner, and then realized, oh shit, I have to chug a Guinness and eat a potato during the show. So this is going to be a horrible night for me. So there is a good chance that I'm throwing up at some point tonight.
I hope it's after I leave.
Me too. Yeah. I hope it's not during the show.
Yeah,
like, that'd be
don't.
really bad. Anyways, oh dude, that's so fucking dry. Oh man.
Wait a minute, Mike. How dry?
Really dry.
Okay.
I didn't have a joke for it. It's just really, that's going to be so rough to get through. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. This is Craft Brewed Sports. For those of you that have never seen the show before,
You're probably
this
like,
is how
is it.
Yeah, they're like, well, that's it. I'm turning this off. But stick around. We're going to talk about some fun stuff. We want to hear your takes tonight. This show is inspired by a post that went in the Craft Brewed Sports group earlier this week from Steven Masters, who just blew up the group. 670 some responses already to this post, where he just asked, post your unpopular opinion, and everybody will decide whether they agree or disagree.
It's still going.
Still going. Still getting notifications. The funniest part to me was when he was like, yeah, I muted that after 40 responses.
Yeah.
He had no idea.
600
What he
later.
did, he threw a grenade in the fucking group
And
and
left.
just walked away. I was like, oh, 40. Wow, that's a lot.
You
Nah,
mean
I'm
I
out.
killed people with that thing? I just wanted to take out a couple buildings.
So we want to know what your unpopular opinions are. So call us up during the show. As soon as Upper Deck is done, we'll open those phone lines up. 440-37-DRUNK. Think of your unpopular opinions now. Call in. We will tell you whether or not you are right or wrong. Before we get to that, though, Motherfucker of the Week. And this week, since it is baseball's back, opening day.
Hooray! I'm excited.
Disagree.
Since baseball's back and we got opening day excitement, we want to know which of these guys is worse. So the first guy is the guy that gets super excited about opening day, way too into it. He's the guy that's a Cincinnati Reds fan that's pissed that the parade isn't on the same day as opening day anymore. And he's like, it's a tradition and MLB is ruining this and blah, blah, blah.
Who requested off work when the schedule dropped back in September?
He's also the guy that's really pissed off that even when it doesn't happen, that the Reds are playing on Monday and there's Sunday night baseball and they're not the first game anymore. Like, he's just super into the tradition of baseball. So there's that guy, the overly into opening day guy.
And then there's the super anti-opening day guy who wants
Joe.
to just kind of shit on everybody's parade by ignoring that it happens or saying, wow, baseball is stupid. Wasted. Stupid 900 times, and just wants to just shit all over everybody's good day for no good reason. Baseball sucks all day.
He's the guy that posts the memes of like, oh, everybody out here talking about opening day, and I'm talking about 21 weeks till football season starts. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Which is fine. I mean, football's great and all, but if you just don't like baseball, then just don't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real easy to ignore one day.
One of those
Because
two
you
dudes.
ignore it the rest of the year.
One of those two dudes is your motherfucker of the week. Put in your vote now. We will reveal the answer by the end of the show, and we're going to keep things tight tonight, everybody. we're on a mission. Craft Brewed
like a
Sports.
tiger.
We're already like 4 minutes over, but screw it. It's fine. Let's get into the beer this week. This week, we are drinking St. Arnold's White Noise. St. Arnold's was a brewery that we fell in love with back in October with their Pumpkinator.
Yes.
And that was a beer that you claimed was better than Pump King.
Yeah, dethrone the king.
Yeah, that is your new epitome of the best pumpkin beer out there.
And then they've also put out quite a few beers that we are jealous that we're not able to get our hands on since then with the bread pudding during Christmas time.
Yes. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we've heard good things about that. And we didn't hesitate when we saw this on there. Now, Mike's not as much of a wheat beer guy as I am, a wit beer guy as I am, but I have a feeling he might enjoy this one. This is so far very, very good. As you can see the description there, citrusy. It's got a little bit of a hoppy smell, which is different for
Super hoppy
wit beers,
smell, yeah.
but it doesn't taste too hoppy, which is why I like it. This
That's
is
very true.
nice mellow hops.
Well, it's kind of like your IPAs that you like, where like the citrus cuts into the hoppy flavor.
Right.
And they did talk about in the description that it does have the citra hops because it is dry hopped. So they add some extra hops into this beer.
I'll tell you what, it kind of too, a little bit of bubbliness to it. It kind of reminds me of champagne just a little bit, and it's just the way it goes down. It's a little bit more carbonated, it seems like, than your average beer. So
I've got a piece of skin in that one. That was kind of gross. That was the first piece of skin. I would agree. It is kind of champagne. Goddamn, this episode is going to be so hard to do. I'm spraying potato all over the microphone.
dry mouth over here.
But yeah, this is it. I mean, and again, I'm not a big wit beer fan. I don't like wit beers. I don't like wheat. Like those types of beers are normally pretty gross to me. But this one, initial tastes are pretty solid on this one.
James Haygood coming out swinging. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the best basketball player of all time. Fight me.
Wow! All
Hot
right,
takes coming in.
hot takes, bringing them in. That's
James,
a
you're
scorcher.
wrong, but
Yeah,
whatever.
dead wrong. But okay, super wrong.
We like your spirit.
That's what we want to see tonight, everybody. Post your hot takes, call in, and we'll just fight about it. Like that's the whole spirit of the show
Gotta
tonight.
go at it.
But anyways,
And did we mention if you share the show, we get to 20 shares, we'll take a shot?
we are.
Yeah. We get to 20 shares, we'll do a shot of well-aged Fireball that Mike's got down here. Pretty sure it tastes like cinnamon toenails at this point.
It is the grossest Fireball that I've ever.
Ugh.
I mean, honestly, between the two other liquors that are here, I would rather shoot the Hypno than shoot the Fireball. That's how bad that Fireball is. But yeah, if we hit 20 shares, go ahead and share it up, and we'll do that Fireball. Anyways, the other thing about this beer that I was kind of concerned about, the ratings on it weren't all that great. Like when I was looking them up, because we always do the Untapped ratings and the Rate Beer ratings.
Yeah.
Rate Beer, it's only 69. And then
So we know who would love this. This is Gronk's beer.
and then it was only like 3.6 caps on Untapped out of 5. So the ratings are a little low, especially for a brewery that I think is a really solid one. So I'll be interested to see how it holds up.
All right, well, there you have it.
Let's get into Upper Deck. I'm going to eat some more potato.
All right, and I'll go ahead
after
and
the read. I'll
start
wait
the
till after
read.
the read,
Yeah,
yeah.
don't do it during the read. Don't be rude.
I'll wait until...
Not to our sponsors.
Sorry,
And
Minutemen.
Craft Brewed Sports and Upper Deck is brought to you by Minutemen Tickets, locally owned in Columbus, Ohio, by Scott Met. A couple of guys who are sports fans just like you and me.
Minuteman does things the right way. No trying to order tickets from the robot or paying ridiculously high fees. If you call them up, you're going to talk to a real person that's not eating potatoes, and you avoid all of those fees that the other guys charge. And Minuteman will even sell your tickets for you.
So go on ahead and check them out at MinutemanTickets.com or give them a call, 614-943-3000. That's 614-493-3000. All of your sports, concerts, or theater ticketing needs, they got you on that one. First story, leading off Upper Deck. We're going with a little baseball and a literal what the shit moment. This week in Los Angeles, the Dodgers headed into the regular season in style this week as their final spring training game was canceled during the game. This was a game at Dodger Stadium. You know, they had moved into Dodger Stadium for the last couple of games before wrapping things up in their spring training complex. So here they are dress rehearsal for the regular season, and the game was canceled. Why, you ask? Well, a pipe backed up on 2 different levels in the stadium, causing a sewage leak that ran out onto the field. A player was standing in the on-deck circle in the bottom of the 5th when a lake of shit flooded the field near the dugout behind him. And if you see pictures of this, it is gross looking, but people were saying it was even worse smelling. The grounds
I can't even
crew
imagine.
attempted to push the shitty water off the field, but the umps were like, nah, we're done here. They called the game. Everyone went home. This takes shitty spring training baseball to all new heights.
So how did it get to the field? Like, was it from
It basically flooded. So the pipes got backed up into different. This is one of those things where the
so it just came
deposits-
up from the ground?
Yeah, the deposits from like where it was from underneath the dugout area. It just happened to be that's where it flooded to.
Oh my god! Because that's what I was trying to figure out. Was like, did it back up somewhere where it like cascaded down the steps?
No, it just basically came
or
coming.
filled up the dugout and like spewed into
It's basically that. Yeah, no, it's basically that area right in between the
Yeah.
dugout and the field, and like underneath the tarp, kind of, and it just seeped out right onto the field.
God, that's so disgusting.
Yeah. All sorts of players were quoted about how bad it smelled.
I mean, I can't even imagine like a stadium full of people's shit. Just anyways, let me
Have
get back to
another
eating
bite of
this
potato. Cool. So there you go. A shitty start to the season for the Dodgers.
So awful. Ugh. Can you imagine being on deck when that happens and you're just like,
What is
what is
that?
Oh my god, what is that?
Yeah.
Like what? Do you just run into the outfield? Like I would just run into the outfield at that point. I'd be done.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. All right, let's get into this one. It's been a while since we've had a beer story in Upper Deck, but here we go. The brewery McKellar, which is known for coming out with tons of beers, literally there's over 1,000 beers listed by McKellar on Rate Beer right now. They just opened up a new brewery, and it's actually attached to Citi Field in Queens. It's a 10,000 square foot space, and it's going to feature seating, food, and most importantly, 60 rotating taps.
The Mets suck at baseball, but that's pretty sweet.
That's
right
awesome
there.
to have a brewery in your
Yes.
stadium. That's amazing. And the brewery is going to be open. It's not just one of those.
Does this
where,
say, is it year round?
yeah,
Like,
it's year
they're
round.
just like,
It's got
nice.
a separate entrance on the exterior.
So
and then-
open even when the Mets aren't there.
Yeah, and even if you don't have tickets to the game, you can go hang out in the
Nice.
brewery, and then you
That's
just have
solid.
to give your ticket as you go into.
I have a feeling that'll become more commonplace in stadiums.
It's gotta be. Well, and
That's a
Cincinnati's
damn
doing
good
like
idea.
their craft beer bar, like the extended bar along
Yeah.
the third base line, and I think this is the next step is to
inside.
incorporate
just have
it.
a brewery right there on
Yeah,
site.
I think there's one in Louisville at the AAA stadium. I think
Okay.
there's a brewery inside of that stadium.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
this is the
that's
first MLB team.
That's a
to have.
damn good idea.
It's a fantastic idea. The coolest part about this too, so because McKellar has so many unknown beers and all these crazy ideas that they come up with, their rotating taps are going to focus on those beers that you don't really get to find out in the wild. So it's going to be like more of their experimental brews that are on tap there, which is also a great idea because now you've got a reason to go because it's
Right.
beers you can't just go pick up in the store. It's like stuff you can only get on tap, and it's made right there. Such a good idea. I don't like the Mets.
Oh,
That's a
fuck
good.
the Mets.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Tim Tebow in that bar.
Is that when you go there? That's your first thought is I might see Tebow.
Yeah, where's
Okay.
Tebow? I'm gonna
Cool.
go. I'm gonna be like, give me one of those porters, and where's Tebow? You guys got any potatoes here?
I like them raw. Like them plain.
No,
plain
yeah,
as
they're not
fuck.
raw, it's
Yeah,
cooked.
yeah, that's right. It's cooked.
It's cooked just super plain,
plain
man.
as hell.
You want some salt on that?
Nope.
Nope.
Give it to me dry. All right, sticking with the theme of beer and baseball here. I love this story because it combines those three things: beer, baseball, and Major League Baseball telling the Yankees they can get fucked. Kind of. Earlier this week, MLB issued a warning to the Yankees that they better not go ahead with plans to use player likenesses in their beer. That's because the Yankees had sent out a promotional photo highlighting their new pouring technology that allows them to put images of players' faces into beer foam, similar to how you see those cafe lattes or whatever the fuck those $30 fancy Starbucks drinks are that they can draw designs in. Any rate, within the picture, the likenesses of Mike Stanton, Aaron Judge, Aroldis Chapman, and Gary Sanchez were used in, fuck them all. So you can get a wife beater in your beer in New York. Were used in Blue Point beer, but that's a big no-no, says Major League Baseball, because they do not allow active players to use or promote the selling of beer or other alcohol. Yankees issued a statement and basically said, hey, we never planned on selling them. It was just used to highlight the technology. Chill the fuck out. But I prefer to interpret it as MLB saying, hey, Yankees, go fuck yourself for trying to break our stodgy old rules, and the Yankees backpedaling faster than Deion Sanders in his prime. That's just the way I like to read into it. Funnier that way to me. Also, they can feel free to use any of their player likenesses when I piss into a glass and it foams up. Any of those players named, any of the 25, anybody on the 40-man, anybody in the organization, just go ahead and put their faces right in my piss with their super technology.
Has that not been more commonplace in stadiums where like the urinal covers are like your arch rival's logo? Like in the Yankees stadium.
Look at it's Boston.
Yeah, and you can like, I'm pissing on Boston. Like that's, I don't know why that's not more commonplace. I think this is cool though that they can do this type of shit now.
Oh, it's definitely cool. But I like how it
players.
has never came up as like, and I also like that the rule is. I mean, if I was the Yankees, I'd be like, all right, fine, we just won't use current players because the rule says
just use
current players.
Yeah,
Like,
they could put
look
like
at Babe Ruth right in your glass,
right?
Roger Maris in your glass,
Right.
I would do that. I mean, and I
That's
think
a cool idea, man.
Yeah, I think any team that had something like that, you might as well just go on ahead and do it if you can. If you could do something like that, or just even the logo. I mean,
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like how
there's so many ways of getting around. Okay, I can't use player likenesses. We could still
Right.
make this Yankee centric without having to deal with that. So,
I wonder if they would upcharge for different players.
Dude, you know they would. This is the place where they charge like $24 for a hot dog.
my fork.
And it's just your wow. All right, well, moving on.
Nope. I'll get one more bite in before I move on.
Cool.
Baseball, huh?
So I may have become a fan of Trevor Bauer for life after this story. We joked about Gronk earlier. Trevor Bauer is giving Gronk a run for his money.
Taking it to the next level.
So this past offseason, Bauer was eligible for arbitration. He thinks the process is complete bullshit, so he went in asking for $6.9 million. Get it? He did that on purpose. He was like, I want $6.9 million, and kind of giggled like a schoolboy at offering 69 or 6.9. Anyways, moving on. He was advised that the number was too high and that he'd likely lose out on his arbitration bid. So instead, he settled on a number that he felt was more fair. The number was a little weird, so he went in and asked for $6,525,000, and he won that. That's what he won in arbitration. But that's not the number he wanted. He didn't want $6.5 million. He wanted a different number. And the number that he really wanted was $6,420,969.69. 6,420,969.69. That's what he really wanted. That's what he felt he deserved for the year. But since he won $6.5 million, he decided to donate money to charity to get down to that number that he really feels he's owed for the season. So Trevor Bauer on opening day kicked off his 69 days of giving, where he is donating $420.69 every day for 69 days.
I love it because it's petty, childish,
yeah,
and all that wrapped
and
into one.
so sophomoric. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't, and he is just embracing all of it. On the last day, he is donating $69,420.69 to a charity that he is keeping secret currently. But when you factor in all the fees that he's paying for somebody to run the website and handle the donations and distribute everything, the difference between his $6,525,000 that he gets this year and everything that he's donating and paying in fees brings his total salary for the year down to $6,420,969.69.
Oh my god,
That is unreal.
this is the only time math has been awesome. Also, shout out to Dan Chancellor, who's loving my Braves jersey. Fellow podcaster from No
No
Distractions.
Distractions. Make sure you guys check them out Thursday nights.
Thursday
Ooh,
nights.
We're going to be going up against No Distractions, actually.
I
Sorry,
wasn't
Dan.
going to bring that up.
Sorry, Chance.
Wasn't gonna bring that up.
Well, I mean, they're going to find out sooner or later.
That's true.
Also, Brenda posted something in here that I haven't heard about, and I don't know if you've heard about that either. Did you
Yeah,
see that
I just saw that.
up here? Brenda says, did you guys hear about cocaine found in a beer nationwide? It increased their sales by 4.3%, had to cease production for at least 30 3 days. I don't know what that is,
Where was
Joe.
this beer being sold?
I don't know, but Joe, if you can Google that and find out some more details on that story, that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
That's
I need to know where this beer is.
I don't know how we
and if it's
missed
still
that for
available.
Upper Deck. How do you get that in?
I don't
Anyway,
know.
That ties in so good with the last story.
Awesome.
Anyways, go on. Go to the
But
next
it's
one.
happening. All right, Mike and I have talked about many ways that the NCAA could either have to change their stodgy ways or accept their demise if they aren't willing to adapt to players getting paid for their services by more players deciding to bypass college and taking alternate routes. No one, before you get all uppity about it, is saying that this will become commonplace, but it's the type of thing that needs to happen to push things in a different direction. That is, now former Syracuse commit Darius Baisley has announced that he will forego attending Syracuse this upcoming season and instead jump from being a high school senior to joining the NBA G League. Baisley has been projected by some as a potential top 10 pick in the 2019 draft, and in the recent McDonald's All-American game, Baisley finished with a line of 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Now, plenty of players have gone overseas to take that route as far as avoiding NCAA, but Baisley becomes the first player to take the G League route. To his credit, Baisley realizes what this means, saying, quote, this all realizes and falls back on me, and that is another reason why I decided on this. There's no room for error here. I can't be screwing around. I just want that. I just want this challenge, and I know that I'm going to overcome it. As far as maturity-wise, I believe I am as mature as they come, if not more mature than guys that are in the G League and some guys in the NBA. There's no screwing around, end quote. Love this.
It's great. I think it's awesome. And I'm surprised that it hasn't happened before. Like you mentioned them going overseas, and I guess it's because you can make more money overseas than
Right.
you can in the G League.
Well, a lot of the people that go overseas don't really think that they'll necessarily end up in the NBA. It's just their only way of making money professionally, period.
Right,
So-
right. But you would think that because that option is there, you would think some of these guys
Yeah.
would go and just
Well,
make some
I guess
money.
One of the most famous examples would be Brandon Jennings when he went overseas for a year and then came back, and he was one of the first bigger name guys to go overseas and do it. But there's been plenty of other guys that have done it, but nobody's gone just the exclusive NBA D League or now G League route. So good for him, though. This is going to force. It's just a small blip, but this is the type of thing that's going to push that ball in the direction because more guys are going to see it. Like he's going to be monitored. However well this goes is going to determine where other
and
guys
that's going to be the big thing.
go
If
this route.
he goes there and busts out and
Right.
doesn't do anything, people are going to be like,
Yeah, well, the
Should've gone to- should've
NCAA
gone to
like,
North Carolina.
That's
Right.
what you get.
right. So
Well,
we
should've
should
gone to
all
Syracuse
we
since
should
that's where
all
he actually grew
yeah,
up. If you're
Syracuse.
listening.
Sorry, but
That's cool.
fuck you. Anyways,
Anyway.
point being, we should all collectively be cheering for this dude. Not
Absolutely.
only because he's from Cincinnati, but also because this could potentially force the NCAA's hand.
Yes.
And that's the whole point of this. We're not looking for guys to just start going pro. It's just
Right.
more. If enough dudes do this, enough top recruits do this, the NCAA is going to have to change how they handle things.
Yeah.
That's what we all want.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's the whole thing here is getting the NCAA and even to a certain degree the NBA to change the rule because the one and done rule
It's
is
an
an
NBA
NBA
thing,
rule.
yeah.
So one way or another, it's got to change. And if the NCAA has to make something so that this whole thing works out better, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I'm just
agreed.
glad that it's starting with this kid.
Agreed.
So just fact checking the cocaine story.
Okay.
It is 100% not true.
Oh,
Washington Post said that it came from a fake site and somehow just got circulated all around,
Damn.
and it is not true at all.
I hate the internet sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Like I love it, but
When
I
there's
hate
really
it
cool
for stuff
stories like
that.
that or something that you're like, oh my God, that's awesome. And then,
Especially when it's a story that you just want to be true.
Right.
Like that where it's like, oh yeah, and then
And it doesn't hurt
and
anybody.
They're so good about like making it like the details that Brenda put up in the Facebook comments about it increased their sales by 4.3%. Like
well,
it's
Brenda
so,
says that it was on the news and that she has a sports podcast that she heard that talked about it. I mean, I don't know.
First line of Washington Post. The U.S. government didn't find Coors Light beer laced with cocaine despite claims that originated
so
on a
it's Coors
satirical
Light, too.
website.
Huh. Well,
Coors Light.
I don't know. Weird. I wish it was true.
That's why people are like,
We should get some beer and lace it with cocaine and then redistribute the story and be like, oh, no. We found
it
some.
really happened.
Yeah.
Let's just put some cocaine in these beers and be like, test these. We found them. St. Arnold's white noise coming from Tavor that's got cocaine in it. It increased their Tavor sales by 4.3%.
No reason to apologize, Brenda. It's all good.
No, yeah,
I mean,
it's
you know,
all-
it's not like you.
Look, we have
We're the one who
all-
made up the story
We
and
have
tried to
all
circulate.
been there.
Yeah, we've all
And
been
like I
duped
said,
by a
those,
fake story.
Those sites now are
I've
so
had it
good
happen
at
to me.
hiding it.
I hate when I share one on Twitter and then somebody comes
Yes!
back and tells me, "Hey,
They hit you with
that's
the
fake."
they hit you with the Trump gif of fake news, and I'm like, you motherfucking know. Oh, it
Yeah.
is. Damn it. We've all been there. No need to apologize.
Tank just got home, said, "Eat that tater, Mike."
I will, Tank. I will. Let me finish this story. This is something where beer is spiked with some illegal drugs, and it is a 100% true story. This is weed references this time. Keith Villa, who is the man who invented Blue Moon and worked for Miller Coors for like 30-some years after their purchase of Blue Moon Brewing, is releasing 3 new beers, all of which have no alcohol, but instead are infused with marijuana.
What the what?
Yeah. And Villa says that the beers will offer the same effects of alcohol, just without the headache. Which, if you've ever smoked pot, which I'm not saying I have, but I've heard that people say it feels like you're drunk, and then you wake up the next day and you're not hungover and you feel great. So this sounds like he's onto something here. The other issue is
You're not saying you haven't either.
right.
Okay, cool.
There's
Throwing
there's
that
also a lot of people say that edibles. It's hard to tell how much to eat because it hits you a little bit later and a little bit differently than if you're smoking. So people tend to overindulge. But with the way Villa is developing these beers, it will hit you about the same as if you're getting drunk. So you will feel it the same way as if you've just been drinking regular beers. The only difference is it's THC instead of alcohol.
I need this beer.
It will only be available in Colorado to start with.
To Colorado! To the CBS Mobile!
And this is not this is not the first time that it's been advertised beers with weed in it. Like, this has been a commonplace thing, but the difference being it's illegal to actually infuse your beer with weed. So what a lot of brewers do is they just put the hemp in there, so there's no THC. It just gives the smell of weed, and then it's the alcohol. This guy, since there is no alcohol in it, and he's putting the marijuana in, it skirts those federal laws and allows him to infuse it with the cannabis.
Nice.
Yeah, super smart idea. Going to Colorado. Three beers that are infused with weed, and he's starting a whole brewery based on this too. And this guy clearly
smart idea.
I mean, I'm not a big Blue Moon fan, as you heard from the opening of the show. I'm not a wheat beer fan,
Yeah.
but this guy
I love me
knows
some wheat beers, man.
but he knows beers because
Right.
Blue Moon has taken off. So if the federal law changes, this could be some interesting stuff
I'm
coming.
all in for this. Seriously. I
am
mean,
too.
I don't even smoke weed. That's not my thing. But I mean, I'm all for a beer that would give you the same effects and
With
not
no
give you. I
headache?
was gonna say not give you any of the after effects.
That sounds amazing. Man.
Yeah.
The only effect of this is you're going to really want to eat a potato.
but with stuff on it.
Yeah. Oh God. This has been Upper Deck.
Brought to you by MinutemanTickets.com.
Thanks, because I couldn't do
Yeah,
that.
I know. That's why I jumped in.
Let's get back to that story of the kid from Cincinnati going to the G League. So now that he's made that jump, I know like a lot of people are talking about. And by the way, everybody, the phone lines are open now. 440-37-DRUNK.
Hot
Call
takes.
in with your hot takes, your unpopular opinion. We will tell you whether or not you are right or wrong. And if you're wrong, we'll make fun of you for it. And if we argue, even better for you.
Also, quick hitters. Call in, give your hot take, hang up. Then we'll discuss.
yeah.
No, don't linger.
Yeah, no arguments. You can't argue with us. You can't
can
try to
just
change our
drop
mind.
the hot take bomb and then walk away, and then we'll defuse it or blow it up.
We'll either feed that flame or blow it right out. But anyway, so this kid making this jump, how long do you think it's going to take before we see some of these other guys?
Hold on, we got a hot take.
We got a hot
in the
take
comment
already?
section. Tyson, hot take: missionary is the best sex position.
Tyson, disagree.
Disagree.
Disagree. What are we, Mormons?
I mean, don't get us wrong. Any sex is good sex, but
Well,
that's
But the best?
that's not.
Come
I was
on.
gonna say there's no way that's the best position at all. None.
Horrible take, Tyson.
I expected something hotter than that.
Horrible take. But I mean, that's the point. That's what we're looking for.
Also, yeah, that's true. But also, I'd like to see Tyson defend this in the comment section as to why. I don't want on the phone calls, just come and drop, and then maybe hop in the comment section and kind of go from there as your defense. But I want to see the rationale behind that being the best. I love sex the way it was intended. Laying down, facing each other, no talking.
I am very tired after a long day of work, so the less moving I have to do, the better. So I prefer to just rub against something for a while. Done.
He's also asking me to back up my disagreement because he knows that my wife listens, and she's also watching at the moment. And there's no way my wife agrees with that. I can tell you that right now.
There's your hot take right there.
Moving on.
All right, so Baisley.
So baseball.
So Baisley comes in and drops this bomb where he's not going to Syracuse. So my question to you is, now that I just saw Cheryl's
I told you. I told you. I know my wife.
read the comment. I'm going to eat some potatoes.
Ain't nobody like a cold fish. No missionary. That's right. Wow. My wife knows what's up. It's just an option for sex, not option.
How long before another player makes this jump? Do you think there's anybody from this class that goes with Baisley now that he's made this jump?
Again, because we talked about it a little bit when we were talking about the story. All eyes on this kid. And nobody wants to be the first. So you watch what the first does, and you kind of see how it plays out. And, if he does well, and then, again, it's all going to play out through when he gets drafted next year. See if he's projected as a top 10 pick now. See if his draft stock gets affected. See if maybe, things kind of, if he gets injured or how that affects things. There'll be a lot of factors here, but nobody's going to follow him immediately.
Here's where I think that there could be some truth to somebody following him. We've seen this in all levels of athletics now, where these guys are all trying to recruit each other. You see it in the NBA, where these guys are joining super teams. Odell Beckham and Landry. Landry's trying to get Beckham to the Browns, and he's recruiting him to the Browns. You see these high school kids that are all excited trying to get on the same team in college. There is the possibility that he tries to get some of his friends or some of the guys that he's played with growing up to come with him to the G League. So it's a potential. I'm not saying it's going to be a top 10 recruit,
right?
But I could see
there could be. I just think that when you think about what you're suggesting, that's kind of how the whole AAU circuit works, right? Where you're playing with your friends, and you're doing all that stuff. I think that's more likely. I think that's more likely moving forward once these things kind of get cleared up and the questions kind of get answered. But for now, guys are kind of just going to be like, all right, you know how it is. Yeah, you go, man. I'm right behind you. I got you. I'm going to watch out for things here. You go ahead. I'm going to be the lookout. So they're just going to let him see how things go. And then from
I got the password, man. I got the password.
Right. The cops come, I'll yell. you go on ahead and break in. I got you, though. So
then how long do we have to wait? Is it 1 year?
One year before we know the results and then see how many guys before it. But I think you're looking at a long process. I don't
Joe's
think
saying
this is
no
overnight.
Well, he's gonna have to do his 1 year below for people to see, and then it's going to take at least 2 years because then they're going to see how well he's going to be able to transition into getting a contract in the NBA or not. So they're going to see how well he can. The people are going to wait to see how well he does in the G League, and then if that transitions. So it's going to be at least 2 years.
Well,
before
I don't even think they'll
influx,
care.
I think.
I don't think they'll care how he does in the pros. They're just going to care where he goes to the pro. They're
It's
just
all
gonna
about
look at his
getting
draft.
into the league,
right?
That's
It's
what I'm
the
saying.
draft stock.
So it's 2 years from now. We'll know. I think not. He gets drafted next year. So then the following year, we see how many guys go after that when you're talking about the draft. The following season, I guess we'll know if more people start doing it. But I think maybe there's this potential. If he comes out and balls out in the G League, and maybe even improves his draft stock because they're just saying top 10. That's a generic thing. To where it's oh man, now he's a top 3 pick or potential number 1 or something. Then you could see the numbers improve really quickly because guys will be like, whoa. Not only did he go and improve his draft stock, he was getting paid to do it. That's clearly the way. So
how does this process work with the G League? Who?
That's what I was wondering.
Because
who do you play for?
Yeah,
because you're not drafted to a team.
So they have a big old player pool, and most NBA teams have a lower minor
Right.
league affiliate, which
Most,
are the
but
G
not
leagues.
all.
Not
Right.
all. There are some that have like a combined type deal, but usually it's so let's say the Cavs. They also have the Canton Charge in Canton, Ohio. The Cavs will sign the player to a contract, and then they'll send them down to the G League, just kind of like baseball, except then they'll be signed to a G League contract. They also have these new contracts, which are two-way, where players can play both in the G League and in the NBA if it's possible. But most of the time, they get signed to like a low contract, and then they'll get sent down if they're not on the bench.
Okay, but in this case, which team is he
Yeah,
going to get
so
assigned to?
He'll have his agent, and he'll talk to the affiliates, and he goes into a big old pool, and he'll just sign as a free agent.
Okay, but then once the draft rolls around, he'll still be eligible to be drafted by any team.
Correct, because
Okay,
he
all
hasn't been. He's not declaring now for the draft.
All right,
he's
okay.
just going like he would to the
That makes
NCAA.
sense.
He just has an agent.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because I had no idea how that would work with like what team you would go to, but if
Yeah,
it's
that's
just-
where
essentially you're just negotiating with the lower level teams, and
Right.
you're not actually signing with the big club. It's just the affiliate there. So
But the biggest drawback for him is, let's say this G League thing doesn't work out because most coaches aren't good in the G League. It's just who they can find
Yeah.
and fill in.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be able to go to the NCAA if he wants to because
he's
he's
hired
already
an
has
agent.
an agent.
Yeah.
right.
So he won't be able to go and get a structure if he feels like he needs it. He's just going to have to either stay G League or go somewhere else or just try and work it.
Lithuania, baby. He's
It
going to go
worked
get
for the balls.
He's going to go get Big LeVar. And LeVar will coach him up. That's all I know. 72 points.
Yeah, there's that.
Did you hear about that story too? About Ball
Yes.
getting 72 and it was against like Chinese high schoolers?
Yeah. I mean, because why not? He
was-
stole from China
it's
twice
genius.
now.
It is so genius. Like we shit on Ball, we shit on LeVar so much, but that dude is a genius to be able to manufacture this stuff. All right, son, here's what's going to happen. You're going to declare for the draft on the same day that we're playing a Chinese team of junior high kids. And then we're going to take this offense, and guess what offense? Get the ball to LiAngelo. Is that his name? LiAngelo? That's right. I think that's it.
I was gonna say
Get the ball to LiAngelo. I couldn't remember which one was which, but yeah, get the ball to LiAngelo.
not
And
Melo.
yeah, that's all I know. Get the one to the middle one. Get the ball to the middle one. That's
There you go. All right.
yeah. The one who's not that good. Give it to him. And then they just inflate his numbers, and they're like, "See, 72."
Ballin'.
I love it. The guy's a genius. Hey, Scott, you ready for a hot take?
Yeah.
Papa John's isn't as bad as everybody says.
I mean, you go eat the potato faster. Are you expecting some venom? I mean,
I was.
the problem is it's bad because of their political stances.
Yep.
I mean, the pizza itself isn't
pizza
the
itself-
worst pizza in the world. It's just not good by many standards either. But you can do so much worse on national chain pizza. I will say though,
Thanks for your agreeing.
well, no, I know, but the worst part about him is how doughy it is. I think I think that's a lot of people's complaints is that it's a lot of dough.
yeah, there's a lot of dough, and their sauce isn't very good either.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
And the cheese isn't really like it's just a really bad pizza, but it's not the worst pizza
Yes.
in the world. Like,
we can break it down as to why it's bad pizza, but there's also worse out there.
Like if you look at it, all of the ingredients are shit. Like and combined together, it's really disgusting.
Okay, and
But
here's
not the worst
Here's
pizza.
also where I'll kind of disagree is because of all that factors. Like, it's not cheap enough for how not
I don't
good
know.
it is.
It's pretty cheap because you get it for 50% off every single day.
Well, that's
because-
true. I mean, they've done a lot of deals, but if you just look at it, if you just look at their menu prices, like, damn, what for this
$22 for a medium?
Yeah, I mean, it's really expensive. It's kind of like the half price sushi thing where it's half price every day. So then that's kind of just your regular price, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
Yeah.
really half price.
You know they could get in trouble for that because have you heard of the My Pillow? That dude that like he was all coked
Yeah.
out and came up with a
Yeah,
pillow.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That guy, his Better Business Bureau rating has dropped to like an F because he always advertises buy one pillow get one half off, and because that's his constant advertisement, the Better Business Bureau was like, then it's not a deal.
right?
F.
Yeah.
So how is Papa John's not dropped when every day it's 50% off?
That's how I've always felt about the half price sushi. It's like, it's not half price. It's always that price. You're not getting a deal.
Vic says better ingredients, better pizza, bitches.
Awful take.
Yeah, baseball's terrible.
You got a hot take?
Roseanne's awful. I don't care if 18 million people watch it. That show has sucked now, back when it was original, and will forever suck. It's just a bunch of fat white people. No, I don't have a problem with white people, but it just happens to be a bunch of fat white people making it. It's Mike and Molly combined with I don't know, another shitty sitcom. Like, hey, we're fat. But 18 million people tune into that bullshit, and I can't fucking believe it.
That's a pretty hot take. I agree. It's I don't think she's very funny.
Never. Like, I've never thought Roseanne was a funny
I can't stand
person.
her laugh.
Oh, God.
And this is all...
And the shittiest part is I like John Goodman. John Goodman.
Do love me some John Goodman.
Yeah. And so, but it's like guilt by association. He just kind of gets lumped in there.
Do we know which Becky was in this Roseanne reboot?
With the good hair?
I got that one. I got
it.
All right, good answer.
Not the whitest motherfucker tonight.
No, I'm really not. Let me have some more potato as I agree to that. No, do we know which one it was? Was because Becky was?
I have no idea.
That was one of those characters
it's
like
Sarah
swapped
Chalk
mid.
and the other one.
Yeah. So if it was the girl that was in Scrubs,
Sarah Chalk,
might tune in just to see what she's up to.
Yeah. Oh, we got a call. Also, Tank says that Papa John's is only good when it's free. I maintain that all pizza is good when it's free.
That's fair.
True. Yeah. Craft Root Sports. Who dis?
Hey, it's Tank. What's up?
Tank,
What up,
what's up, man?
bud?
How you doing, bud?
Not bad, man. How's that potato?
Not bad, actually. I thought it was going to be way worse.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
But I've also got a lot of skin left, and I've been trying to push those around. So it's about to get way worse for me.
So wait. So you're saving the skin for the end, like when
That's
when
actually
people
the worst
just, like,
strategy
pile
ever.
All, like all the end crust on a pizza to the side.
Yeah, it was a horrible idea on my part, but I was like, I just got to try to get through this somehow. And I wanted to try to scarf down as much potato as possible so that I can, like, pick at the skins through the rest of the show.
Dude ate all the marshmallows and left the cereal.
Yeah, dude. Your potato eating strategy is worse than your football picking strategy.
That's a good
That's
burn.
not a hot take. That's
burn.
fact.
Whew, that was so hot, though, it burned. That's what that was.
Oh, man, I love the fact this is the hot take episode, man. This is great. Papa John's only good when it's free, and Roseanne has and always will be terrible. The only thing she gets street cred for is being one of, like, the first female comedians that, like, was in a scene that was, like, all dudes, and then she stood out. And then after that, it was like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Definitely give her credit for carving a lane that isn't really there, but overall, not my cup of tea.
Yeah, same here. I mean, that was like the whole deal. Was she was like one of the first female stand-up comedians that was like, oh, she's actually like she's got an act and she can hang with people and yeah, she's okay. Like she's not fucking Paula Poundstone, but you know, it's really not that big of a deal.
Tank, what's your hot take, man?
Fuck farm-to-table restaurants. That's my hot take.
Those places suck. Fuck
Dude,
vegans.
my wife, we went to one tonight. My wife was like, let's go to this place. I was like, okay, we get there. And, you know, like the waitress, not very friendly. There's some asshole that was wearing sunglasses the whole time, and it's 9 o'clock at night.
Well,
There's
great
like
in there.
2 middle-aged couples that are sitting beside each other. It's like, are you going to finger fuck like your 45-year-old wife at the table? What is going on here?
No, that doesn't happen at farm-to-table restaurants. That happens at baseball games.
Dude, it happened in the Mets game.
I
Did you
know.
see that?
Yes, that's why I brought it up.
It popped up, and I thought, is this the same video?
Yeah.
No. It's another video. Same exact situation.
Yeah.
Almost like they saw that video, like, hey,
Yeah.
we can get famous off this.
Yeah.
There's another one?
New one,
Yes,
Tank, came out
there's
today.
another one at a Mets game. No minor leagues this time.
Well, it wasn't a minor league game before. It was just a spring training game. They were just
Oh, I thought it was a minor league
Maybe it's
game
the
before.
same couple, and they were just warming up in spring training, and they took it to the show.
Opening day for everybody, folks. Boom.
Man, white people are just out of control out there.
They are. Y'all be wildin'.
Nice. Yeah.
Farm-to-table restaurants. Farm-to-table restaurants do suck, though.
They are. They're the worst.
I would say it's awful.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, okay, man, I get the fact that I'm getting upcharged a bit because, like, you named the cow and you're friends with it and then you killed it and, it wasn't like in a factory somewhere. Like, I'll pay a little more for that. But when you skimp on the French fries, when it's like, oh, we're going to give you, like, 2 ounces of fries and still charge you, like, $16 for the burger and fries. It's like, come on, man. You can throw in an extra potato or two. This is some bullshit.
Yeah, fucking potatoes are the shit. And the fact that they're skimping on potatoes is bullshit.
It's totally bullshit. Thank you, Mike.
With a mouthful of potato.
I feel like every time I hear of a farm-to-table restaurant, it's like that scene in Grandma's Boy with David Spade as the waiter at the restaurant, where he's like, "It's Shiloh," and like he's trying to give him like shots of wheatgrass. That's what farm-to-table restaurants remind me of.
Yes, that's accurate.
I don't know if that's true. I've never been to one, but
I've never been to one, but I won't be to one. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's one of those things that I'll just actively
You're not
avoid.
missing out.
Yeah.
Tank, thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it, and thanks for the potato.
Hey, no problem. Enjoy that potato. You keep chowing on that thing, okay? You're going to make it through. You're going to get to that delicious Jameson dessert that you've earned.
I love you,
I'm
Tank.
going to have to start Kobayashi in this here soon. So full right now. All right, bud. Cheers, man. Well, okay, he's gone. Okay. Scott, what's your next hot take?
What's your,
You want me to go because you just
No.
you did.
No. I actually, I had one earlier. I thought it was public transportation doesn't
Hold it. Hold it.
suck.
Hold it. Craft Brewed Sports. Who's this?
Scott sucks. Mike sucks. Baseball sucks. Joe's awesome.
That's a solid take.
I can't argue with that take.
Yeah, that's
Hold
that's
on.
A very good
Baseball doesn't suck.
take.
Fuck you, Vic. But the rest of that was true. I can't deny the rest of it.
I'm glad Vic hung up when he did because he ended that with boom roasted and then just like
He's dancing right now.
He went Michael Scott on us. He was like, you suck, boom roasted, and then he fucking jetted.
Anyway, what I was saying was that public transportation does not suck, but it totally matters what city you live in for that shit.
Yeah, public transportation in Cincinnati is not good, man.
No, public transportation here sucks. Public transportations in cities that know what they're doing, awesome. In fact, I kind of wish I lived in a city where public transportation was good. I would love to never drive again. But public transportation as a whole gets this bad rap, and I understand why, because most cities it's not done well. But in cities where it's done well, it's done damn good, and you never have to have a car and all the problems that come with owning a car.
Yeah, but you're trading in some problems for others. So, yeah, public transportation is fine because you don't have to pay for a car, but you also have to sit next to a dude who's jerking off into a McDonald's bag.
Maybe. I've not ever sat next to a dude who's been jerking off into a McDonald's bag.
You haven't ridden the bus in Cincinnati or ridden the subway in New York.
I said in the right cities, it's done right. No,
Where's it done right then? If
Chicago, D.C.,
L
San
train
Fran-
is disgusting.
San
sometimes,
Francisco.
dude.
I've never been on it when it was bad. Every time I've been on it, I'm like, this is awesome.
It's only certain lines that get really
okay.
bad. Like the
and the time of day, I guess.
Yeah, the loop can get pretty rough at nighttime, just with how gross that is.
But just in general, though, it's efficiency as far as getting you on a places like in city like Cincinnati. I feel like you're beholden to buses showing up maybe on time, maybe late. That in those bigger cities, I mean, you may be sitting next to a dude jerking off, but it's going to be on time. You will know it is exactly 5:34 when that thing shows up and the guy's jerking off. It's like, I'm here on time.
Here's old five knuckle Charlie. Hey, he's right on time. Way to go, man.
But it doesn't suck. It just matters the city.
I would say I would amend that to say public transportation gets a bad rap because of all the people jerking off on it. If it weren't for the people jerking off on it, it would be pretty good.
I've never experienced anybody jerking off.
That just means you're sitting in their jizz. That's all that is.
Could also be true.
Did I sit in gum? Why is this seat sticking to me? Jesus. All right, here's a hot take for you. College football, MLB, MLS, NHL, NFL, PGA, NBA, college basketball, NASCAR in that order.
What? I didn't know where you were going with that. I thought you were just rambling off things. I don't even.
As my take.
I don't.
As a
remember,
hot take.
I don't remember the order because you do
College football,
Okay, wrong.
MLB,
Okay,
MLS,
wrong.
NHL,
Wrong.
NFL, PGA, NBA, college basketball, NASCAR.
NBA is not that low.
Oh yeah, it is.
There's no
That
way.
low.
No, that takes all. Fucked
Hot
up.
take.
Wrong take. There's no way that MLS is better than NBA.
It
None.
is way, yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
On what planet?
On this one,
Okay, cool.
this planet.
That's a horrible take.
Why is
That's
that a horrible
garbage
take? Why is that a horrible take?
Because the NBA is underrated as is. And then
Oh,
you
it's
wanna
so
put it
underrated. It's so underrated. How many games you watch this year?
like 5 combined. I mean, if you put together all the pieces of the NBA games I've seen this year, 5. But if you put together all the pieces of MLS games I've seen, 0.
String
Suck
together
it.
all the highlights that I watched on
Yeah.
SportsCenter. It's like 5 games worth.
bruh. I've seen a full Kings game this year.
The NBA is way low on the totem pole.
Nah, bruh.
I'll say that most people disagree with me, considering the fact that the NBA is one of the most popular,
the second most
out of
popular
the
sport
four
right now.
major sports.
Based
Is
on
it?
Fiona.
Did it beat?
Yeah.
It moved up to 2.
Yeah.
So
Based on
right now
numbers.
it's NFL, NBA,
MLB.
MLB, and then
is
soccer.
Struggling to hold on to
Ah.
3. Yeah. But that's the current rankings.
Yeah. Well, nope. College football number 1. Because that shit's fun as shit.
Look at I don't have a team in college football, and it's well documented. I'm not a huge fan, but I mean, I watch it more than I watch pretty much any other sport, not baseball or NFL. So, if we based it on my viewing habits, it'd be my 3rd favorite sport, even though I claim not to like it. I watch it more than I watch any other sport.
Which is why
Besides football
Which
or
is why
NFL.
it's the best, because that's it pulls in fans that don't have a team. Fans that are fans of a team will watch other games. Like, you're not. I feel like with MLB, it's very regionalized. We've talked about it before. You just watch your team. You're not sitting there.
I don't even think it's regionalized. I think it's just if you're like our age is about the last people that are really watching it. And
You're not sitting there
even
watching.
people like us are a rare breed.
Yeah, you're not sitting there watching a 3-hour game and then staying up for the 10 o'clock game and watching the 3-hour 10 o'clock game.
I did once upon a time. I don't.
But you're not anymore, which is why MLB is not. But I still like
But
the
that's
sport,
not.
so that's why it's number 2.
No, I
for
mean,
me.
I mean, but that's not baseball's fault. It's partially life's fault. I mean, life just gets in the way of things. I can't afford. I mean, I watched a lot of baseball yesterday. I mean, I can afford to do that one day a year. It's just a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
finding 3 hours to watch your own team and then finding another 3 hours to invest in another game that you don't care about is a lot, man. And I love baseball, but it's just
even on my
much
team's
going
off
on.
days, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna take a break from baseball today.
yeah. Well, I mean, in the course of 162 games, you'll have that.
Glad they started the season earlier.
The real Magic bat should be letting them use an aluminum bat.
I'm actually fully endorsed on that.
That's a good take. That's a real good hot take.
That's solid. I mean, I love the ping.
Can you imagine giving Mike Stanton an aluminum bat?
Jesus.
Our ball would it would kill somebody.
Correct take. Fuck that guy though.
Also accurate take.
Yeah.
But I do like this idea. Magic bat, giving them an aluminum bat.
Cheryl said to blame it on the wife and kids will be the scapegoat. No, it's not even. That's not it. It's called just getting old and sleeping habits. I mean, I just staying. I don't work. My shift used to be 3 to 11. So I mean, baseball starts on your average day, not opening day. All the games start at 7, and so you watch a game till about 10 or whatever. Go home, and then the West Coast games are either just getting started or just getting underway. You stay up for another couple hours, and then it's time to go to bed anyway. I mean, I used to just be up until about 2 in the morning, and that's when those games ended. So there's not much going on. Might as well be watching live baseball, right?
Yeah.
It just happened. Now that I work a shift that doesn't incorporate that, I mean, I'm in bed by 10 at the latest. So that means I might get to see the Braves finish the whole game. But usually I'm even a little bit ahead of them. And if they're not close, I'm certainly going to bow out. So, I mean, And it has nothing to do with wife and kids. It's just, in general, life gets in the way, like change habits and all that. I mean, I guess if I was still on the other shift, maybe it would be slightly different, but I just can't do it.
Maybe.
I'm not going to stay up till 2 to watch teams that I don't have a stake at anymore.
Hey, you want a hot take?
What's that?
As a potato gets colder, it gets really disgusting.
That's not a hot take. That's a fact, bro.
Especially when there's nothing that you could be like, well, at least there's sour cream.
No.
This is just like cold, chewy, just mush is all I'm eating right now. But, update for everybody. Skins are gone.
All right. You've actually almost taken that down, and we're just about to hit the hour mark here. That's kind of impressive. I thought it might take you more of the show to get through that.
My strategy was to really pound through it quick. Because if I let it go too long, it was going to get to this point where the potato was cold and gross, and it was going to make it really harder. So I had to try to scarf as much as I could early on.
Well, when you screwed up with eating around the skin, I thought, you're just going to F this all up. So I'm surprised you had any sort of strategy after, hey, I'll eat the skin.
I planned this out. This has been a long time thinking here and how to approach this potato eating. Also, by far the most racist punishment we've had.
No, how many times did we go over this? Irish is not a race.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. No, you're right. Yeah.
I've had to tell you that before. Like, you'd be like, racism. No.
I'm still going to say it.
I know.
I'm going to say it again.
And still claim it, you motherfucker.
Should I wait on the shot, or should I do the shot now? Because the potato is gone.
Give yourself a
Tank.
minute. Give yourself a
I'm
minute.
glad Tank just popped back in to see the fact that I finished that potato an hour into the show. Woo! What am I doing with this plate? I got nowhere to put
You got to eat
this.
the plate.
That's going to be a problem.
Late
Thanks, Jim.
addition to the punishment. You got to eat the plate.
Oh, man, that feels really gross.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man. You know, I do.
But
it for
then
the
I
fans.
remember why you were doing that. It's because you suck at football picks. God, you're awful.
Pretty terrible. Pretty terrible at it. Tank's chanting USA right now in the comments.
Should we talk about Chris Mack? The other thing?
Yeah. I mean,
So he left, huh?
I was trying to avoid that conversation just because
I mean,
we've gone so Xavier heavy, and I don't want it to get too Xavier
That's
heavy
fine.
with this.
We're not-
But
but we
it
can't
is
just
a big
ignore
story.
it.
It is a big story
No.
because Chris Mack, I will say this right now before we get into this conversation, Lou the dog was right. Lou the dog called that months ago. I mean, the season was still going on, and he was like, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
It's a done deal. He's going to Louisville, and he was right.
The only problem is, and I'm not saying that credit to him, I think, but at any given moment, Chris could have had a change of heart. It could have totally just been one of those, they're about to announce the deal, and he just got cold feet. I mean, nobody could have counted. Yeah. Nobody could have accounted for that. I mean, it's easy to say now in hindsight, oh, yeah, well, it was a done deal and all that, but I mean, there was a part of me, even though I felt like it was more likely to happen as the days wore on than it wasn't, that I thought, man, it could get to those hours before, and he'd just be like, you know what, I can't do it. And it would just been a human thing. It wouldn't have been any type of, it would have had anything to do with any of it. It would have just totally been, oh my God, what am I doing? It could have been one of those last minute realizations.
Yeah,
but, you know,
I think that's,
he looked happy at the press conference, so, I mean,
he didn't say
good for
anything.
him.
He didn't pull a Miller and say anything crazy. So I mean,
I
and
wish
I had
him well.
always said, if you're going somewhere for more money, I can't fault you for that. Like, go do your thing. But it kind of stings for $4 million, like, because
it didn't sting
it
so
did
much
because
as it was.
Xavier offered him $3 million. It's
Well,
like, man, you went for $7 extra million, which is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong.
Well,
but
it didn't. But that's why I say it didn't sting. It was just a little bit of a head scratcher because I kept hearing that the floor was 5, and at 5, you're like, all right, well,
right,
it's $2 million.
Xavier's not
going
to be able to get that.
So for
Right.
$1 million more, it was just, oh really? Okay, well that's. It just was weird that the number ended up being that low. But I mean, at the same time, I also said, gave us 9 good years, all-time winningest coach. Didn't say anything shitty. If you want a new challenge and you feel like it gives you a better opportunity for whatever reason, I don't necessarily even think that he's like, oh, it's 100% thing that I could win a Final Four, or go to the Final Four consistently here. It's just new challenge, something I wanted to do, pipe dream of mine. Who knew it happened? My whole
and
thing
it's going
is,
back to his wife's hometown too. I think that weighed a little bit more than.
I mean, that's
I think,
a thing. But
I think that weighed more than most people realize.
that's fine. I mean, that's a thing. But they still weren't that far away. It's the same argument as if he.
That's fair.
Him going is that his family is still only an hour and a half away. So, I mean, the distance isn't great. So, I mean, I'd understand if we were talking, well, he was going back to California and, his wife's family and all that other stuff. But, I mean, the distance is whatever. My whole thing is I just kept thinking, one day I'm driving home from work, and this was the day before, and I just thought, oh, my God, you know how we got here? A hooker put one of these players' penises in their vagina, and that reverberated. It's the butterfly effect. Some hookers, 5 seconds in an Italian restaurant, a booth led to this. I mean, if all of those things, if a couple of hookers didn't happen, if Rick Pitino could keep it in his pants and not cheat on his wife, Chris Mack is still coaching at Xavier. Because Rick Pitino would have never left, and all things would have still. And all of this happened because of that. It's crazy to me to think that all of this stuff.
Weird.
Remember when all of those things were going on, and you're just like, ha ha, that sucks for Louisville, but you're not really thinking how it affects you. And it's like all of those things while they were happening, it's like it all directly led to.
But does that? I mean, so let's say none of that comes out, but now there's this whole FBI thing. So
maybe
I think that sinks Pitino. It was like everything was converging for Pitino to leave right now, anyways. So it was going to happen no matter what.
I'm just saying, though, there's a possibility that he could still be there. Look at Miller; he's still there with this FBI thing.
That's
going
true
on for the time being. We don't know that,
right.
But it was all of those things that then the FBI thing came, and then just like, all right, bro, you got to go.
Yeah,
we've just dealt with too much. But those things led to that led to this, and it's crazy to think that a 5-second quickie at an Italian restaurant and some guys getting some strange that was paid for on campus, and that was all going on. And meanwhile, Chris Mack was that much closer to going to Louisville. It blows your mind to think that that's what happened.
I never really thought about
that. That's what I'm saying. I'm driving home from work.
You never think about that with any of these coaching moves.
No.
Oh, man, that's what led to this.
Yeah.
Man, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Makes it seem surreal and kind of laughable. You're just like, ha! So, I mean, that's what
are you going to do?
Mack, yeah, what Chris Mack is the head coach now because of sex. Weird. Not missionary, mind you, because that position sucks, Tyson. Boom.
Joe, hit us with the hot take. Good talk.
Baseball is dumb.
That's not even a good hot take.
That wasn't even
it wasn't even a take. It was
moving on.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Scott, can you save this and give us a hot take?
I didn't have anything else loaded in the chamber.
All right, here you go. Here's a hot take for you. Wrigley Field is a shitty stadium.
Never been.
Thanks, Joe. No.
Yes!
Disagree.
It is a shitty stadium.
Okay.
What is redeeming about Wrigley Field besides the fact that it's one of the original stadiums and it's a destination place that every baseball fan wants to see a game in? What makes it a good stadium, though?
So other than the exact reasons you just mentioned, nothing. That's kind of why a lot of stadiums are shitty, though. It's because it's not a place that you really
run-down garbage. Compared to newer stadiums, Wrigley Field sucks. You have to piss in a trough.
I mean, whatever, though.
That's awful. Any stadium that still has trough pissing going on, shitty stadium.
Don't
includes
stadiums still have
Notre Dame
pissing?
Stadium. No. New stadiums have urinals like normal human beings. Not the trough that you got to whip your dick out next to a 9-year-old and feel like a pedophile.
Tyson updated, said, it was a joke, guys. Everyone knows it's a tie between Woman Astride and Reverse Cowgirl. All about that reverse cowgirl life, though. But anyway, no.
Cubs Stadium. I know Scott Sherrill way too much right now.
Cubs Stadium is. I enjoy Wrigley Field.
I think it's garbage.
But I'm also a baseball dude.
I'm a baseball dude too.
I mean, I think it's something that appeals to me on a different level. It's like that is baseball. Like part of baseball is that old shitty feeling. I like.
Oh, so part of baseball is the fact that it's just old, decrepit, and fucking ancient, and it's like, yeah, this is why it's great. We have talked on the show so much about how baseball is so stuck in its old bullshit ways. And,
I know,
but
there's still something.
Here you are hanging on to old bullshit stuff like Wrigley
Because
Field.
there's still some things that, yes, that's what makes baseball baseball.
You know what else makes baseball great? The Reds starting opening day, and this is bullshit that they're not.
No, I'm not, but I'm not advocating. If you told me tomorrow that they were going to tear down Wrigley, I wouldn't be standing out in front of the bulldozer to try to like stop it. I mean, it'd be like, oh, well, I mean, that sucks, but okay, they need to update their stadium, fine. But what I'm saying is, in general, it's cool. I mean, it's part of what makes baseball baseball. It's something it's old school.
It's something
in fact,
you
I was
could
more
go
upset
to.
that they bothered renovating it. For me, with Wrigley, either tear it down and build something new, or just build a new stadium, or don't do anything at all. I mean, you could make like cosmetic renovations and update some certain things, but them adding the scoreboard and changing things and adding more seats and all that to me was a bigger sham than anything else. I would just as soon you tear down the whole thing and build something modern than try to update this old stadium. Like that's what gave it character.
Because it's a shitty stadium. You can't just update. You can't throw a coat of paint on shit.
I was just going to say, I was like, this was putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah.
Which don't bother.
Hey, guess what? We got we got scoreboards now. That's cool, right?
Let it be a pig.
Well, you know why they had that scoreboard, right? Because nobody actually watches the game anymore because it's so boring. They have to do other things during the game, so the scoreboard helps people, follow the game along.
Wrigley was fun when I went to the rooftops. Like, that was a fun experience.
Awesome.
That was
Love
cool.
the rooftops.
That was cool.
But that's a thing that you can't get at every stadium because of the way the stadium is.
But you can still construct a stadium that isn't a decrepit piece of shit and
it's just
make a
because
new
it's
Wrigley
old. I mean, it's
with
not,
rooftops
at
still
one
overlooking.
point, it was.
I agree, and that's what I'm saying. It's right now, sitting here, 2018. Wrigley Field is a piece of shit. There are seats in that stadium where you can't see because it's blocked by a fucking
Jordan
post.
coming in with the real hot take. Hi, Daddy.
Oh, that's a good take. Good take, Jordan. Good take.
Speaking of which, should I tell you my Jordan story?
Yeah, hang on. Vic says get some Roundup on those ducking walls. Autocorrect hit him with the ducking. He's talking about the ivy in Wrigley. Get some Roundup on those ducking walls.
The ducking walls.
I
Tyson agrees. Wrigley is a temp. All right, I'm in the minority here. Again.
Surprise, surprise.
Beat you to it.
All right, what's this Jordan story?
So, my child, I'm, you know how I am about children, even especially my own.
You don't like them.
No, I love them, but I mean, I'm not gonna let them run my shit. Like I'm the parent, I'm the adult. Like you're not gonna talk back to me, and if you do, I'm gonna say something. So frequently, he's in his I don't want to phase.
Ooh,
and he just, doesn't matter what you tell him, what you say. I mean, it could be something he really loves to do. Hey, we're going to watch Star Wars. I don't want to watch Star Wars, but you love Star Wars. Okay, we don't have to watch it. No, I want to. Anyway, every morning he's in a Lucky Charms phase too, because that's what kids do. They go through these phases of having food, and that's all they want to eat. So every morning it's Lucky Charms. But every morning we go through the battle of him picking out the marshmallows and eating it, and then just leaving the cereal. And I'm
leaving the skins.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
eats the potatoes and leave the skins.
And I'm like, dude, eat the cereal. And sometimes, no problem, he'll do it. And Dad, look, I ate all the cereal. All right, big boy, good stuff. Other times, you want Daddy to help, or no, Mommy will do it. Okay, fine, whatever. Some way, somehow, he'll get the cereal. Other times, I just give in and dump it back in the box, because a lot of times he doesn't want milk on it, so he just eats it dry. Well, this morning, he picks all the marshmallows out, and then he asked me for milk. He specifically said, I want milk for it. I'm like, okay, fine. Pour milk on it, go over to do the dishes. 2 seconds later, I'm done. I didn't get mad. I was just like, hey, no, we got to be a big boy. Got to finish our cereal. Now, I also have this habit of whenever he tells me, I don't want to, or I'm not gonna, or something like that, I say, too bad. Like, that's just my comeback. I just, not angrily, not like, I just straight up just, too bad.
How's that go over for you?
I mean, fine, because, it's just one of those things. I just respond. We're both at a stalemate. I'm not gonna, too bad. And then we just, that's how it is.
Just stare at each other until
More or
one
less.
of you blinks.
You're not getting out of that seat until you finish. Too bad. So this morning, he says, I don't want to, I'm done. Well, can't do that. I didn't even say too bad. I went back to washing the dishes. Kept his eyes on me the whole time, and he has a smirk on his face. He says, say too bad. And I looked at him, and I'm like, what? He said it again. Say too bad. With a smile on his face. I was like, no. don't want to say it. And I seriously, I was like, hold on a second. I'll be right back. I went upstairs and told Cheryl, I was like, our son just mocked me. Like, she's like, and her first response was, oh, did she tell you, did he say you had a little penis? Like, no, but good to know where your head is at.
Everybody's stunting on Scott.
Yeah, just getting stunting on to start the day. Should have just went back. At that moment, I should have known. Just go back to bed, hit the reset button. Today's fucked. I'm like, no. He looked me dead in the eye and said, say too bad. She's like, yeah. Reminder that last night in the car, he told me the same thing. Said, oh, yeah, say too bad. It's like, got that from your father, didn't you? Well, can't wait to tell him. I felt naked.
Yeah.
My son.
What do you do? And that,
I did nothing. He threw down the trump card.
Yeah.
And I had nothing to play. I folded. I was like, well.
Yeah, he pushed the chips all in, and you went, too rich for my blood. I'm done.
I got out. No, I thought I had a winning hand, but I didn't. I didn't even get to play it. It was just, nope. Pocket aces. Bitch. Say too bad. I know exactly what you're going to do, Dad. I got your script. It's right here. What else you got? Say too bad, bitch.
That's what I was going to say. The only thing that would have made it better is if he ended with bitch.
I didn't know what to do. Son totally schooled me, and that's that. I mean, 2.5 years old.
So, from an outsider hearing the story, yeah, that's bad. But it also seems like this has now just become a game in his mind of like, hey, I do this, and then you say too bad, and it's fun.
Right. But I'm sitting there thinking, how did he learn so soon? How does he know? Like, do I say it that much? Or is he getting pissed every time I say too bad that he's like, one of these days? And today he was like, oh, say too bad, motherfucker. Say it. I dare you. Say too bad. Because I know you want to. And I just didn't. It wasn't even on my mind. For whatever reason, in that moment, I was like, I'm just going back to doing the dishes. Just, okay, well, you don't want to eat? That's cool. Whatever. And you say too bad.
It's going to be awesome when you say something and you're like, I don't want to do that. And from like the back seat, you just hear, too bad. That's when he's really going to get you. Because that's the ultimate FU. When he turns it around and uses it against you is when you're really in trouble. This was step one of his plan.
All I know is that I felt in that moment, I felt like I was naked in front of the world. It was just like, boom. Like
you lost, man.
He just pulled my clothes off. It's like, what you got, bruh? Nothing. That's what I thought.
Oh, man. Jordan, good hot take.
Yeah, so I got stunned on by my son this morning. It's a good day.
Oh, man. Guys, reminder, you can call in and give us your hot takes. 440-37-DRUNK. Hit us up. What'd you think of opening day, man?
Oh, I loved opening day. Opening day was great. On opening day, there's really a bad opening day for me because no matter what happens, even on days when Braves lose, which they ended up winning on a walk-off, their first walk-off home run of the season, so woo, got that under their belt. They won, and so it was a good day. But I don't know. I mean, I love baseball so much that there was a lot of things that happened yesterday that were exciting, and nothing could really bring opening day down for me.
I don't know if it was just because I was paying attention more to other games because the Reds weren't playing yesterday or what, but it felt like yesterday's opening day was one of the more exciting opening days we've seen in a long time. You had Ian Happ leading off the year with a home run on the first pitch of the season. That's what you heard at the beginning of the show. The drop of the show was actually from the Dan Le Batard show where Guillermo was giving them play-by-play updates, and the first pitch was a home run to Ian Happ in Marlin Stadium. Just the giantest middle finger to Derek Jeter I've ever seen in my life. Best way to start off the season with a big old FU to Jeter. But then there were walk-offs. You had teams coming back. Just overall, it was one of the more exciting opening days that I had seen.
I will say that it was a microcosm of what a season can be all in one day. It's rare that you see that on opening day.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm kind of surprised that we didn't see a no-hitter or something crazy like that because all of the things that did happen.
It felt like it could have been.
It could have been the day. I mean, you even had Kershaw, who had a 0 ERA through all his spring training starts came out. He only gave up 1 run, but it was a home run to Joe Panic of all people. And his response was just priceless. Like, he couldn't believe that he'd given up the home run, and the Dodgers lost 1-0. And that's baseball. Didn't give up a run all spring training.
That's such a kick to the dick.
Didn't give a run all spring training, gave up a solo home run, and they lost 1-0.
That is such a kick to the dick.
So, yeah, I mean, but that's what makes baseball great. It's so unpredictable, and so many random things like that can happen. I mean, you even had that douchebag in New York hitting 2 home runs.
I was wondering if you were going to bring it up. I was wondering if you were going to talk about Mike Stanton and his 2 homers. We talked about it a little bit before the show. It's legit scary, though, right? Like, you have to, even as a Yankee hater, you have to realize how scary that lineup is now, especially after seeing Stanton belt 2 home runs, one of which was his first at-bat as a Yankee.
Yeah. I'll just be waiting I'll just be waiting for that moment when they lose and it really matters. Because they're going to win a whole bunch of games.
They're going to win a ton of games this year.
It's not even a game.
They're going to win so many games.
As long as they just don't win the last game of the season, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Okay.
I mean, however many games they win, even if it's all the way until the 7th game of the World Series, as long as they don't win the last baseball game of the season, I'm okay.
That's fair. All right. Do you think, the Yankees fans would still be pretty insufferable if they get to Game 7 of the World Series?
Let's be honest, though. They're insufferable. They're insufferable, but they're insufferable on a regular day. So I don't really think it matters.
Quick hot takes. Most insufferable fan base in all of sports. Joe.
Oh, man. Steelers fans?
Steelers fans, good pick.
Yankees in Dallas, tied for number 1.
I was going to go Dallas. I will change my answer to the St. Louis Cardinals fans. Most insufferable. Although...
You also have, since we're right here in this area, any UK Big Blue Nation, Big Blue Nation, Big Blue Nation people?
Get him, Cheryl. Get him, Cheryl.
Well, I will say
wasn't gonna say it.
They've gotten less obnoxious. Not just because I'm married to one, but they've gotten less obnoxious, I feel like, in the last few years. But I seriously, even in their off years, Yankees and Cowboys fans, the worst.
Can I say Xavier fans? Because all of this Chris Mack thing, if I was in a group on Facebook that I had to leave the group because of how annoying Xavier fans were being with all the talk about Chris Mack leaving. It was one of the worst things I've ever experienced is these people bitching and complaining about a coach going and making money for him and his family.
Well, I also say that I was very disappointed in Xavier fans this week because we talked about it last week that they were tweeting at him and thinking they made some sort of difference with that.
Billboards, baby.
Oh, and then all of that, but then the moment that Chris Mack took that job, they went from we love you or we love you forever and all that fun stuff.
You,
to you're the worst and all that. So
Xavier fans are up there. It's one of the worst.
They were
bases this
they were
week.
pretty embarrassing this week. I wasn't very happy with Xavier Nation.
Cardinals fans are they're pretty shitty. Here's a hot take for you, Scott. The closer is the most overrated position in baseball.
That's not a hot take. That's fact.
It's true. Like,
it's been,
why are these guys
actually
making
been for
millions?
It's actually been that way for probably about 10 years at least.
Tank said that was a lot of awful fan bases. It was. I think what we're coming to realize is just that all fan bases are pretty much the worst. Like, if you're ingrained, if you're stuck near any fan base, that fan base is the worst.
No, it's funny because it all depends on your perspective.
If you don't like the team and you're surrounded by that team's fans,
yeah, but I don't
that
think
fan
you're
base
surrounded
is the worst.
by Cardinals fans.
No, but you see them all the time because they're a rival for the Reds.
That's the funny part. I don't think I not having anything to do with the Steelers or the Cardinals. I don't find their fans all that obnoxious. They're fine to me.
Oh, no. They're the fucking assholes that are like, we do things the Cardinal way, blah, blah. We're the best fans in baseball.
I mean, but I
missionary.
I don't necessarily find them that annoying, though.
They're super annoying. Do you follow, like, do you read anything that they
No,
put out
I,
there?
I,
they're the worst. Or
there's a whole
they
Twitter.
just don't exist.
There's a whole Twitter account that's like dedicated to retweeting horrible Cardinals fans.
Yeah, they're awful
tweets. And that's funny. But just in general, Cardinals fans don't bother me because I don't interact with many of them. And the fans in the stadium, when you watch games on TV, they do seem like they're very knowledgeable, and
they're also douchebags. They're like, rally squirrel. They're the fucking worst.
Sure. I mean, there's the Cardinals their fans will be ranked so low for me. But again, I get it. I'm not the Braves aren't in direct competition with Cardinals fans like ever. And same things with the 49ers and the Steelers. Like, to me, Steeler fans are pretty good fans. I mean, I don't really bother me.
See, it all comes down to and as somebody who's not big into the NFL, Cowboys fans I know have a reputation.
Oh, man, Cowboys fans are the fucking worst.
I don't see them. I don't think so.
Suck.
They're annoying, but it's like, come on, man, get over it. Tony Romo is gone.
They suck. They're
Dakota and Zeke. I get it. You've got good
Ohio
players.
State fans too. God, they suck. They're all the same breed. The Lakers fan. They all mouth breathe the same air. Jesus.
How did we get to this over the closers, the most overrated position of
I don't
baseball?
know.
That was the take. That's
just
what it
went right
morphed into. It morphed into worst fan base. What the fuck just happened on this show? How did we get here, guys?
Well, two penises, one in a vagina. Not the same vagina. Two penises went to two different vaginas. 33 years later, here we are.
Moving on. Just don't even finish.
All right,
We're just going to keep on going
All
here.
right, cool. I haven't drank in 3 weeks, bro.
So Mike is about to do his shot and a half-ish of Jameson for you there, Tank?
I don't know if I'm ready. My stomach is so full right now that I feel like
Drink.
Oh, that's a lot of reactions on the Facebook Live video. I guess I should. All right. Well, cheers, Tank. Congrats on beating me. It's good stuff.
I mean, I was just going to say, it's not like it goes down smooth or horribly. It's just that
It's just that I chugged a Guinness and then ate a potato.
I was just going to say, it's just...
Anytime you chug a Guinness and then eat a potato, any additional liquid that goes into your stomach
Anytime
is
you
rough.
have the chance to do both, you definitely should.
What was his name for this? The Irish Blessing?
The Irish Breakfast, I think, right?
Yeah, I
was it the
believe so.
Irish Breakfast? Something like that. No, Irish Blessing was the beer we had. This was the Irish Breakfast, I believe. Tank, chime in with whatever you named this punishment. But it was a good one. I chugged a Guinness, ate an entire potato, skin and all, and then did as much Jameson as I had left in the house.
We need 9 more shares to get to 20 so you can do another shot.
Thanks, Scott.
I was just trying to encourage people.
Yeah, share this show. And all right, here's a fun game that you can play. Share the show, make me do another shot, and then go to the Cincinnati Zoo tomorrow morning and find me hungover with my son in front of the gorilla exhibit.
Oh, you're going to the zoo tomorrow?
I think we might now.
Oh, okay.
I think we're going to do that.
I know
It's
you
supposed
said
to
you
be
weren't
nicer.
going Sunday.
Yeah, because it's cold on Sunday now, so it's going to be warmer.
Mother Nature
Here's a hot take for you.
Mother Nature sucks dick.
Here's a hot take. Kendi, the rhino, better than Fiona the hippo.
Here's a hot take.
Boom.
Everybody's better than Fiona. Fiona sucks. How's that for a hot take?
I think somebody gave that hot take in the group earlier this week.
Oh, well, whatever. Fiona sucks. I'm giving it again. She was never good to begin with. Take that, hippo.
Do you have any more hot takes, or you've got nothing left?
Nah, bro.
Nothing in there.
I told you, every time something popped up in the group, I thought, damn, that's a good one, but I just never thought of it. I don't really think anything, and I'm not trying to sound any certain way, but I'm sitting there thinking, is there anything that I really think that's that controversial or that outside of the norm? I'm sure there's something maybe but nothing that I'm really like, It's like that Coke versus Pepsi thing. Like, I mean, I prefer Coke, but if you hand me a Pepsi, I'm like, get this the fuck out of here. It's not like that. Hey,
You're sounding a lot like Mike Burlon right now.
I know.
Like just
on the fence.
Really fence sitting everything here. We have done a complete 180 from last week where I was the fence sitter, and now you're just like, yeah, I mean, I see both sides of the issue.
Here's a hot take. Alex said, talking about the zoo, total dad zone. Yes. Factual.
Yeah. Tank said they're charging $2,500 a head for private tours with Fiona.
Yeah, I found that out this week. Behind the scene
Holy
tours
shit.
cost $2,500. And I guess you can take like 2 or 3 other people with you. maximum or something.
$2,500 for 3 people.
Yeah.
Or 3 other people, so 4 people total?
I think, yeah, you can take 4
You're still
people,
spending,
or 3 people with you, but either way,
that's a lot of money
to get
man.
that privilege is $2,500 up front.
To look at a hippo, because you're not going to be able to touch it.
No, yeah.
Because hippos will rip off your arm.
Behind-the-scenes tour of that.
That's crazy. Joe was like upset that we got a phone call there. He was like, what the hell is happening here? What is going on?
Craft Fruit Sports, who
who's
this be?
Hey, it's Tank. What's up?
Hey, Tank.
Twice
Hey,
on
for you,
show.
man.
Hey, I know we're going through the whole hot take thing. Couple things. Back earlier about Wrigley, yeah, old stadiums suck, and they're awful, and they're terrible, and everything about them garbage. They're great to watch on TV, but they fucking suck to go to.
In your face, Scott. All right. Thank you, Tank. Appreciate that one.
Hot take. They should get rid of the Pete Rose statue in front of a Great American.
Ooh, that's a good take.
That's a solid
That's
take.
a real good take.
I agree with that shit.
Yeah, because he raped a 16-year-old, right?
Yeah.
And nobody
Yeah,
acknowledges this.
Yep.
Yeah, not good.
He's also banned from baseball.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. But, you know.
I'm just saying, I mean, while you're adding,
Yeah,
I'm just saying
but,
adding
okay.
on reasons to not have a statue of a
But,
guy.
okay, yeah, I bet on
He's
baseball
banned from
and I'm banned for life. Yeah, but you also fucked a 16-year-old when you were 35 and married.
I'm just adding on to reasons why he shouldn't have a statue.
You don't need to add
I'm just
on.
saying, like you just say, no, rape.
don't need to
That's
add
a good
on.
enough
Yeah.
reason to not have it. But
Rape-
yeah, you're also banned from the sport. So having a statue of
Right,
a guy
right.
who's banned from a sport and raped.
But you
Double-
don't even have to
double
get
awful.
to level 2. It's just
Shut up.
raped a 16-year-old.
I said that you start with that, and then you just pile on, man. I'm not arguing that. Well, you start with the fact that he's banned from baseball. That's, I mean, because raping somebody, I mean, that's whatever. But you're banned from baseball, so you shouldn't have a statue.
It was a different time. I'm just kidding. That's not my real stance. I'm just being that guy.
Yeah, okay.
Tank, any other hot takes? Because that was a good one. I like that one.
I just kind of that one just kind of popped in there, and I had to get it out there because yeah, man, it's just embarrassing and awkward. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Yeah, and Pete Rose is that guy who gets kicked out of a bar like once a year, and then like his buddies like talk the bar owner to like let the guy back, and they're like, "Oh no, he's changed, he's cool now." And then he gets drunk and whips it out and pisses on the bar and starts a fist fight. And it's like, yeah, you're out again.
Alex wants to know how much an African safari is. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no
not
Less
good.
than 25.
All right.
Yeah. Tank, great
Hey.
take, man.
Good job on just keeping it real and chugging Guinness, eating a whole potato, and then doing shots of Jameson.
Hey,
Yeah.
tip of the cap to you, man, on picking better than me.
It was a solid punishment pick.
And this was probably my favorite punishment so far. Not because it was the easiest punishment, but because
It was creative.
super creative and was really disgusting.
Hey, man, top of the morning to you. You did your people proud.
Hey, what was the name that you called this? The Irish what?
Oh, Irish breakfast.
Yeah,
It was the Irish breakfast. All right, cool. Thought so. Tank,
There it
cheers,
is.
man.
All right, cool, guys. I'm going to hang up and keep listening. Have a good time.
All right,
Later.
see you, bud.
peace, buddy. Oh, I got a hot take for you.
All right, hot take from Scotty K.
Goldstar is better than Skyline.
All right, so I disagree, but I do think Goldstar has redeeming qualities over Skyline. Goldstar's fries way better than Skyline fries because they're crinkle cut. Crinkle cut fries are so much better than what you get at Skyline.
True. Although you're not going to either place for the fries, but there's that.
No, right.
That's not why I'm saying that they're better.
From the Coney side. They're pretty similar to me.
The Conies are almost identical. I couldn't tell you the difference between the Coney.
And
it
I
all
don't
comes
eat-
down to the chili.
I don't eat, but that's what I'm saying. The Coney, when you put the chili on the Coney, it tastes the same to me. Like I it's a toss up.
So then, what are you basing it on then?
I am basing it on that I like the 3 ways at Skyline more than I like the 3 ways at Goldstar.
And okay, but what are you basing that on?
I don't know. I just like them better.
All right, cool. Hot take.
It's your hot take. I'm just saying my
No,
point of
bitch,
view.
I'm saying the chili. I mean, that's what you.
Their chili tastes
that's
the
what
same.
No, it doesn't taste the same. It really doesn't. It does not taste the same.
It's been a while since I've had Goldstar. I'll throw that out there too.
Gold Star is less sweet. Here's the thing.
So
when you talk about
Goldstar is the Coke and Skyline is the Pepsi. Is what you're saying right
that's
now.
fair, I guess. But if you ask people here, they would say it was the other way around.
Team Pepsi.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is Goldstar chili tastes more like a traditional hot dog sauce because both of them are just hot dog sauces.
Yeah, let's stop.
They're not actually chili. But it's like Skyline has that sweetness to it that I'm not saying I don't like. I'm just saying that I feel like Goldstar gets the shaft and everybody thinks it's just this B-list thing, and I think it tastes better. That's all.
All right,
That's an unpopular.
That's your hot take.
It's an unpopular take.
I don't think
in
it's
this
as
city.
I don't think it's as unpopular as you think.
I
think it's
I
just
feel like it's Xavier.
this
It's
area of town.
sacrilege.
This area of town, because I feel like Goldstar gets a better rap on the west side, whereas Skyline gets a better
Tank
rap on
says
the east
Goldstar
side.
hands down. Tank knows what's up.
Tank does know what's up.
He's nailing them all tonight. I mean, he's wrong about the stadiums, but I mean, other than that, he's nailing them.
Dude, I'm including Notre Dame Stadium in this idea of like old shitty stadiums suck. Because Notre Dame Stadium's ancient too. And I don't think it's a fun place to watch a game.
Okay, can we meet somewhere in the middle and say old shitty stadiums might suck, but newer fancy stadiums aren't necessarily better?
No, I'm not saying they're necessarily
Okay,
better.
all right,
I'm
okay,
just saying
gotcha. All right.
old shitty stadiums suck.
Well, I mean, all right.
Wrigley,
then that's fine.
Wrigley is a shithole.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just like, and anybody who would say, well, you know, these newer stadiums are just so much better, and I'm like, it depends on what you mean, because I don't think Great American Ballpark's better than Wrigley.
I wouldn't say it's better than Wrigley. I would say it's more comfortable than Wrigley, and it's. I think Great American is more family friendly than Wrigley is. Great American, you can go up to that one like overlook spot, and like your kids can just fucking run around and play and shit. They also have they got
Alex
a
said that he
playground.
got a retweet from Mike Bibby tonight. That's like a big deal.
That is a big
What did you
deal.
get retweeted from?
Call
Was
in,
it your
Alex.
stance about FX? Because I'm kind of mad because I told you how hot it was to go watch it, and you getting all the props. I mean, I didn't tweet about it like you did, but either way.
Yeah, call in and tell that story, Alex. I want to hear that story. How you get?
Hold on. Alex said that hot take AstroTurf was better than grass. Don't call because that's indefensible. AstroTurf sucks. People, it's green cement. There's nothing about AstroTurf.
Are we
that's
talking?
better.
We're talking like the old school AstroTurf, not field turf.
Yeah, he specifically says AstroTurf.
He's saying
AstroTurf
carpet.
was awful.
He's saying carpet is better than real.
awful.
Yeah, AstroTurf is not good. Field
Awful.
like Sprint turf, the new stuff with like the rubber pellets and shit that flies up, better than grass.
No,
Yes.
it's all about grass, baby.
No. Why? Why?
Because it's real.
Fuck that shit. Well, wait. Hang on. Are we talking? You're talking from the baseball side.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Fine. Fine. I'm
No,
talking
for football. Oh, for football.
talking
that,
football.
That fake turf is good all day.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen
No.
stadiums where it's just a mud pit.
49ers
4 games into the year,
for the
and you're
first
just
2
like,
years at the
Jesus
stadium
Christ.
couldn't get the sod to stick.
Yeah,
couldn't get the sod to stick in a brand
the
new
stod
stadium.
the stod to stick.
Hot take. Fuck yourself. How about that for a hot take?
Minute or an hour 37 in. That's where we're at before you hit me with it. I was saving
he
one.
meant Bibby the Barber, not Mike Bibby. I just assumed he meant Mike Bibby like I care. I saw the tweet from Bibby the Barber, but we're at 15 shares.
I like that Tyson got really excited, and then Joe hit him with, "Yeah, we need 20." Shit. You wanna? What's that, Joe?
Also, I think Alex was trolling us because he said you're actually discussing this. Damn it, we took the bait.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's the thing tonight. That's the theme. Hot takes.
It's hot takes, Alex. It's all
even if
the-
you're giving fake hot
Yeah.
takes, like we're doing it.
Give us a fake hot take. I'm cool with fake hot takes.
I'm cool on delving into these fake hot takes too.
Because then we can,
serious.
we'll take your fake hot take extremely seriously and dissect whether or not it is the right or wrong fake hot take. So call in 440-37-DRUNK. Tell your friends to call in. We don't give a shit. Here's a hot take for you, Scott. This was the one that I thought was going to get the hot take. Fuck you. The Atlanta Braves chop is the worst chant in all of sports.
All of sports?
All of sports. That stupid fucking chop. Worst chant in all of sports.
That's an awful take. Not because
Hot
it's necessar-
take. It's not an awful take. It's a hot take.
I said it's an awful take.
It's
not
not- it's a
necessarily
hot take.
because you could be wrong, but that you're living in a world where you see exist as a chant. I mean, that's awful.
You know what that is?
Unique
Lazy?
to UC.
Lazy?
Unique to UC.
Oh, are you saying because the Braves
Yeah,
may
fucking
or not have
copycat motherfuckers.
I mean, that goes on all over sports. So, I mean.
And that's why it's the worst. Because, one, it's super annoying. Two, it's also associated with Florida State. 2 strikes against you right there, man.
Again, I mean,
Worst.
to say that. I mean,
chant
if you
in
want to
all of
say
sports.
it's lazy, that's fine. But the worst,
Not only that, kind of
there's some bad,
kind
chants.
of offensive.
Maybe
Kind of offensive
that's
too.
also
Let's
true.
throw that out there.
That's also true.
So there's no other chants that are super offensive like that. You don't hear the Indians fans fucking smacking their hand against their mouth like.
Ooh, hot take from Alex. Chris Mack won't finish the 7-year deal at Louisville.
Ooh,
I think that's a scorching hot take, and I agree. I don't think he'll finish his 7 years in a pleasant way.
I
He
think
might finish 7 years, but I did chuckle a bit because he said at that press conference, the only thing he said that made me laugh was, "Well, this will be my last job." Chris, you don't get to dictate that.
no. He's saying that.
No, I know. He said he meant it as in I won't pursue another job. But what he said was, "This will be my last job," and my thought was, you don't get to decide that.
No, he does get to decide that.
No. If his players don't play well or he doesn't recruit well, they will run his ass out of there.
No.
It won't be because he wanted to.
No. I understand that. He's saying, this is my last job. Fire me after a year. I'm fucking done coaching. I made my money. I'm out.
Oh, bullshit.
That's what he's saying there.
He wouldn't. No.
First of all, he's not going to get run out after a year. I read that, and I don't know how true it is, but I heard that he has a clause in his contract that if there's any postseason bans that come in, they add on years to his contract. So basically, if Louisville's banned for 4 years from the postseason, he gets an additional 4 years added onto his contract.
And Alex is probably
Point being,
thinking the same thing. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I just don't know that he's necessarily going to succeed up to
Point
their
being-
expectations, and he could get run out.
But the point being, he's golden at that job because any sanctions that come down, anything, he could just be like, I'm handcuffed. I can't get all the recruits I need to. I'm handcuffed. I can't promise somebody a national championship. How are you going to get these kids to come here? Sorry, man. I'm doing what I can, and he's going to at least get the 7 years.
But I just don't think that it will be his last job. That's all.
I do. I think he's done afterwards. What are you going to do afterwards?
I mean, if you're saying he's going to
let's say
retire,
Louisville- yeah.
I'm saying I don't think that it'll be his last job because it's going to end prematurely to when he wants to end his coaching career and he'll coach somewhere
How
else.
old is he? I mean,
He's not that old. He's like mid-40s.
so mid-40s. He's about to make $4 million a year just in base salary.
These motherfuckers coach till they're 70.
No, I understand that.
Like,
I understand that. But what I'm saying is, this dude's about to make $4 million a year base salary.
Right, exactly.
For
Alex says if he can't beat the Wildcats there, he's out. I mean, their expectations are sky high, ban or no ban, and if they're not hanging banners and doing all that other stuff, I'm just saying. I don't think that he ends up staying there long term because
Tank also said the chop sucks.
He's 48.
48 years
Thank
old.
you.
All right, 48 years
So-
old. So no. My point being, let's say he
7
gets
more years.
Let's say he
that
gets.
takes him to 55.
Let's say he gets 4
That's
years.
young in the
Let's say he
coaching
gets
game,
4
bro.
years out of the contract because we're gonna agree that they'll always give him like that little buffer. That's $16 million just in base salary, not counting any incentives, not counting any other deals outside of that. $16 million just earned over the next 4 years on top of all the money he's fucking made. If they run him out of town after 4 years, he can come back to Cincinnati and live like a fucking king. Never has to coach again.
But he will
But he will what?
coach.
Maybe
He'll be too young to just be like,
maybe
I'm gonna quit.
Maybe he doesn't give a shit. Why do you, I mean he's going to a school that could potentially not have a chance to win a national championship for however many years. My thing is, I feel like Chris Mack is taking this as, well, if we don't get a postseason ban, I at least have a shot at like a school like Louisville where I can recruit people. If he does get a postseason ban, he's like, fuck it, I don't care. Then I have no pressure, and I can just do whatever I want until they get me out of here. I'm going to take my money and run. Done.
Rate says that women's basketball Final Four is more exciting than the men's.
That's his hot take?
Yeah. No, because we knew UConn was going to win months ago. It's like Warriors-Cavs finals.
I don't know. I really enjoy a good layup contest. So the women's Final Four is kind of
Interesting. Like you see some good finger rolls.
UConn is the Warriors of college basketball, and it's just all written in stone. I mean, you're gonna have the Joes out there in the world who believe some team's gonna magically make some run or do some magical voodoo bullshit, but in the end, we all know UConn's gonna win. Oh, then they might accidentally not win one year, and people be like, "See." Like last year. It's like, oh my God, they're not invincible. And then this year they're going to win it.
They didn't win last year?
Yeah, they lost.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. That's how little it happens.
Exactly.
You're
Well,
like, holy shit, this is
not even
news
that.
to me.
That's how much attention I pay to
Right.
women's college basketball.
Is it
What?
more exciting?
More exciting? I mean, like
Less
the only here's what
slightly
would make
less predictable. No,
here's
that's
what would
not.
make
It's not.
here's what would make the women's Final Four more exciting. If every game they played, the stadium was on fire while they were playing. Then I'd be like, all right, let's watch this, see how this turns out.
Losers got to stay in. Then
we lock the locker room door.
The stakes would be high. I would watch
Everybody's
college
like,
basketball
I do
then.
not want to be in UConn's
Somebody's
bracket.
dying tonight.
Do not want to be in UConn's bracket. You are the 2 seed in UConn's bracket. Fuck, god damn it. Hope we get eliminated in the Elite Eight. I don't want to fucking play those assholes. Wait, the Elite Eight would be against UConn. My
Yeah.
bad.
Also, Rate said that the Ultimate Warrior was a tasteless ass clown and a horrible human being.
I don't know the story. What's the story behind that? What did the Ultimate Warrior do?
Mike, I don't know. Mike also, Rate also tried to say, bet we didn't watch any. Well, yeah, no shit, we didn't watch any. Why would
That's
I watch
the
any
point.
college
Yeah.
basketball for women's? Because
That's exactly
it's
the
not
point.
exciting.
You don't even know college basketball for women, Scott. You don't even know it. And Tiger's back.
Oh, he also wants to let us know that UConn's only up 3. Last time I checked, 3 is still winning. He's from the same school that Joe went to. Well, they might not sweep, so Warriors might come down to the final shot in the 7th game, and that'll be a victory, but not really a victory. So when the Rockets push the Warriors to a 7th game winning shot, I mean, it's a moral victory because they took them to the last possible second of a game 7, even if they still
Here he
lost.
is. This is
Uh-oh,
it.
now one.
How much you want to bet? How
Right
much you
Blue
wanna
the
bet?
dog, rough. Craft Root Sports, rough. Who this? Oh, hey.
Man, so fucking. Here's my hot take. Rate's goddamn predictable as fuck.
Was that a real dog in the background?
No, that was Grandpa Lou, the original roofer.
I was like, oh my god, that sounded like a real dog.
Did you just kick a dog? What's up? What's up, man?
Generations giving y'all shit right now.
We're at the Chris Mack celebration
Wait a second.
party
Hang
in
on.
Louisville.
Did you just say there's 3 generations giving a shit? So that means there's 3 generations of dude watching women's college basketball right now? That sounds like the saddest gathering I've ever heard.
Fucking Louisville, dude.
That sounded like
Well,
it was Raid from the background. Holy shit.
It really
was
did.
like he threw his
He
voice.
projected his voice. Oh, shit.
We're going to be watching lots of great college basketball for the next several years with Chris Mack on the sideline.
He's our hero.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good hire.
Mac Attack. It also sounds like your brother.
Yeah, well, you didn't have a problem with him 3 days ago.
I don't have a problem with Chris Mack.
Yeah, I still don't have a problem with it. We both just.
No, I mean, I'm
losing at Louisville, and then everybody will hate him.
Yeah, I mean, he's
gonna win.
He's got expectations there now, so he's screwed. But I mean, I don't wish any ill will towards him.
Yeah,
He's
I know
still
you
good.
guys have been mature Xavier fans. I don't.
Yeah,
there's
no,
too
we
many
were just.
Xavier fans out there that.
I think you tuned in a little bit.
Like
Yeah, no.
surprised.
I think you tuned in a little bit late because we were sitting here railing on the fact that Xavier fans this week were
We called him one of the
shitty.
worst fan bases in
Yeah,
sports. after
I
this
thought
week.
they were god awful this week. Between tweeting at him, begging him to stay, and then the minute he turned on him, fuck him, I never liked him anyway, and
Yeah.
get rid of
Get
you,
out.
you money chaser. Like I thought Xavier fans showed their asses this week. It was pretty embarrassing.
It was super embarrassing. It was awful.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't get to listen to a lot of the show. I agree 100%. The
Yeah.
Xavier fans proved that they're little brothers instead of acting like they've been there and would hire another good coach. And
well, and that was part of
kind of
my
embarrassing.
that was part of my problem. Is it's like you guys are just proving that we're not really where we think we are because you're acting like like children about losing a coach. I mean, I doubt Kansas fans were doing that when Roy Williams left because they weren't worried about who they would bring in.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
The thing is, Xavier's always going to lose coaches, and the fans that understand that are the mature, normal Xavier fans. The fans that think that they're not going to lose a coach or that get mad about losing one are out of touch with reality.
I mean, I think those guys, like, there's those fans that just think Xavier has elevated to a different level than what they were, and Xavier has grown as a program, but it's not at the same level as a Louisville or a UNC or a Duke.
Well,
like, those programs are.
Yeah, you're right. Both of those things are true. 10 years ago, coaches would have left Xavier for about 20 or 30 different programs. Now coaches will leave Xavier for about 10 different programs.
Right.
The problem in this case is Louisville's one of those 10.
Right. And again, we talked about earlier how it was just a stars aligning thing. If Patino didn't get in trouble, Mac's still the coach at Xavier.
yeah, it was just a
Yeah.
perfect storm. So that's
And-
also why it
and
makes it easier to accept. I
I
feel
had
like
also
if you're a
heard-
Xavier fan, like
I also heard, and I don't know how true it is, but I heard that Alford from UCLA was interested in the Xavier job. So what does that tell you about where Xavier's program is right now? That Alford,
I also heard that's not really much of an option.
No,
because
no,
his
I don't
buyout is
want him.
No, I don't want him either. But
I don't-
Yeah,
I
also
don't
heard
want
his
him.
buyout's crazy.
I don't want him, but I'm just
so-
saying there's and it's something that I talked about with my buddy Tim earlier this week and Drew, where Xavier is now at the point where UCLA's coach is like, well, I'd take that job. So the program has improved. That's all it comes down to. And Xavier fans just need to chill the fuck out, man.
Yeah. Although I will say, when I heard that he was interested, part of it was too that he was interested because it was less pressure. How crazy
yeah,
is
that's
that?
true. Yeah.
It's less pressure than UCLA. Like, yeah, I'll go take that job and go on vacation.
Yeah. Oh.
If
I mean, they get to go to
if Xavier
Cincinnati and
hires
just
that guy. If Xavier hires that guy, they're going the wrong direction.
No, I would be very upset
If Xavier
with that
hires
hire.
him or Thad Matta, that's the other name people keep floating around. If they hire either one of those,
If they
two, I'm
hire
gonna be
Mata, I
pissed.
might be looking for a new school.
There's There's 4 names that Xavier should even consider.
There's
Thad
one name.
Matta, Sean Miller, Kenny Payne, and Travis Steele. If they hire anybody else, they're going the wrong direction.
There's one name, Steele. That's it.
Yeah, there really is only one choice.
Right, it was good talking to you, man. And Rate's family,
Hold
great
on.
hearing from you.
I have one more thing to
Oh,
say.
okay.
Okay.
Did you guys play my drunk dial call from this morning?
No, because I listened to it and I had no idea what the fuck it was, man. You did a
Scott
tongue
knows.
twister.
Scott knows.
I didn't-
Jungle Book, baby.
I didn't hear it though.
Yeah,
that's,
Scott
that's
didn't hear
the
it.
only problem. I didn't hear it. Like,
Okay,
I
I guess
filtered.
you missed my tweet too. That means that Mike's punishment is getting increased.
oh no,
So,
I saw
sorry, Mike.
that because you did. I saw that if we didn't play it, you were going to increase the punishment. But I didn't. I didn't
Well,
get to
now
hear it, so I didn't know.
I'm increasing the punishment. Not only is it the original Lou the Dog punishment for both of you, but now when I'm on the show in a couple weeks, Mike has to sing a Little Mermaid song on air.
All right, I'm fine with
Okay.
that.
Okay. I fucking karaoke'd Bobby Brown singing some fucking part of your world doesn't fucking faze me. Like, I'm going to sing Kiss the Girl and then giggle through most of it, and nobody's going to give a
Part of
fuck.
this world.
We're going to lose.
I'm gonna make you
We're
sing
gonna
it.
lose all the viewers
No,
because
I'm going to make you sing it with a Jamaican accent.
yeah, I'm going to sing with a shitty Jamaican accent.
Go!
We cheered for UConn there. What's happening? Ray, good talking to you, man. Cardinals. All right, go L.
Always fun when Lou the Dog calls in.
That sounded like a fun party right there. I think maybe kind of nope.
Should we get to Consumer Account?
Yep, let's get into consumer candidate for this week, dude. Lots of good.
This is good hot takes.
There's some good hot takes that we had tonight.
Consumer Account brought to you by Devore.
Check them out, Tavor.com. You can head on over to our website, craftbrewsports.com. Click the sponsors link, and if you sign up through that link, after your first order, you get a $10 credit. Check them out. This week, we had St. Arnold's White Noise, a dry-hopped Belgian-style wit beer. Joe, you had a little sample of this. let's go to you first, my friend. Consume it or can it?
Well, out of the one sip that I have, I would say consume.
All right, dynamite drop in, Joe. Scott, way to
Hot
elaborate.
take.
Joe was just like, I would consume. Moving on.
This is my first beer in 3 weeks. Delicious.
Yeah. How does it follow up after having Smirnoff Ice to start?
Oh, it goes down real good. In fact, I forgot that I had the Smirnoff. Like, the weird part about Smirnoff is it didn't taste as horrible being the first alcoholic drink I had in 3 weeks. I guess that was the first thing I had that had alcohol in 3 weeks.
It's also because it's aged. We've aged that Smirnoff nicely.
It wasn't
for you.
that bad.
It's been cellared. That's a cellared Smirnoff.
Again, it was all about the sweetness. It was just like, Jesus, this is so much sugar in this damn thing. I don't know how people drink it for enjoyment at all because it's so sweet. But the St. Arnold's fantastic. I consume hands down. It's not it smells hoppy, doesn't taste hoppy. There's no bitterness to it. You can really taste the fruit and spices, all the stuff that they say that's actually in it.
Coriander, bro.
Yeah, unlike the graham cracker that we never tasted in the s'mores beer. No, I mean this nails all the flavors that it said. So yeah,
that coriander is when they talk about the coriander in the finish, it is 100%. That's like the flavor that you take away is that coriander flavor. Like there's a little bit of a citrus flavor to this, but it is mostly that spice at the end. And as somebody who doesn't like wit beers, I could drink this. I can't drink a lot of them. Like I would have one or two in a night. Hang on, let me back up. I also did have a shot of Jameson, chugged a Guinness, and ate a fucking dry potato. So kind of messes with the taste buds for the night. But it is a solid beer, and I think this just speaks to the brewery. Because we had talked about how, you were sold on St. Arnold's after Pumpkinator. Mm-hmm. You didn't even have another beer from them, and you were like, yep, this brewery is fantastic.
Yep.
Just by reading some of the other beers they had.
Yep.
So getting this one was, for me, a test to see how good the brewery was. And I liked. I mean, it was a pretty solid beer.
For me, that I wish St. Arnold was closer. And
that
we had more.
They distribute more.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had more access to the beers than we do.
Well, so it's a ringing endorsement for the brewery itself. I would also consume this beer. If you don't like wit beers, you're not gonna be as big of a fan. But as somebody who doesn't like wit beers, it's one that you can have, and it's not gonna taste like it doesn't leave that weird weedy aftertaste that you get from some of these beers. Like some wit beers and some wheat style beers, you get a kind of a shitty aftertaste, and that's why they put orange and blue moon. It's to cut down on that bullshit aftertaste. And this one, the coriander really finishes it nice. So I'm going to consume it, and I'm also going to go out and say, hot take for you, St. Arnold, good fucking brewery.
Damn fine. I think probably my favorite brewery not named. And it escaped me that quickly.
Southern Tier.
Thank you. I'm glad that you know my favorite brewery more than I do. Yes, Southern Tier.
We'll do a Southern Tier beer next week for you then, and see if we can get them back on track. We'll do your two favorite breweries.
No, they're not off track. What I'm saying is Southern Tier is my favorite brewery, but
I got you.
The brewery that I don't have as much access to would be St. Arnold, because Southern Tier we can get around here easily, and they're just in Western New York, so they distribute here, no problem.
Consumer Candidate brought to you by Tavor. Before we get into the polls, a little bit of an announcement. We talked about this a little bit earlier during Upper Deck. You might have heard it. You might have glossed over it. But we're going to be trying something different going forward. So starting next week, we are going to be doing the show on Thursday night. So we're going to go Facebook Live on Thursday night. In addition, we're going to go a little bit earlier. It's not going to be 9:30 anymore. We're going to be going on at 8:30. Ish.
Always have the ish.
Ish, yeah. Because
so the
you
goal
never
is
know.
to start the show by 8:30, but we're moving from Fridays to Thursdays, and we're gonna test it for a little while and
see how things go.
Could become our permanent.
It's like
home.
when you see a show on cable that
moves to a different.
Yeah,
night.
it's like, hey, we're Tuesday night for Roseanne this week, and it's like, oh, okay.
Well, we're fucked if you're comparing us to Roseanne. Because fuck that show.
It was just the first show I thought.
Yeah.
They got 18 million views.
18
we
million
wouldn't be
views.
fucked.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
I'll take 18 million views on this video right fucking now, man.
18 million Trump voters. Racist fucks.
Hey, man, I'll take
They're
18
watching.
million views. I don't give a shit.
That's true.
MAGA for 18 million views,
you
baby.
Racist fucks tune in. I hate that black one every week. I don't give.
But we're gonna
what it
try.
says.
We're gonna try that next week. We're gonna do this for a while. We're gonna start on Thursday night. So for those of you that just listen to the podcast and don't watch us on Facebook Live, that means the show is gonna go up either late Thursday night or first thing Friday morning instead of on Saturday. So you'll see that come out a day earlier, possibly a little bit earlier, because it's mostly gonna be Thursday night that I put that up. And Facebook Live Thursday night.
One more announcement is that we are quickly approaching our 2-year anniversary.
Yeah,
We've got
man.
About 3 weeks until we hit that, and we've got a couple special things planned.
We're trying.
Besides, we're trying to lock things down. We hope it happens. Moving the night might affect things now that I think about it, but we'll figure those details out anyway. Either way, we're coming up on 2 years, and we're super excited. So no matter what, if our grand plans don't necessarily work out, we will make sure that we mark the occasion.
Yep.
A special episode here in the next couple weeks.
Not only that, so not only are we coming up on 2 years in April, but we are also coming up on 100 episodes here soon.
Holy shit.
This is episode 91 right now, so we have
Damn.
so we're hitting 100 very soon here. That's fucking crazy.
Still like 8 more weeks, so whatever.
That's soon. That's soon, dude.
Oh, okay. That's your definition of soon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
Soon
way.
for me would have been like 2 weeks, but okay.
All right, fuck you. Anyway,
Hot take, soon is in 8 weeks.
Here's a hot take: 100 episodes. We are closer to 100 than we are to 0.
Okay,
Fuck
cool.
you.
All right, let's update the polls, Joe. What do we got?
All right, so again, reminding everybody what the choices were. You had either the people who are super, super excited about opening day or the people who say opening day is terrible. And what were your guys' votes?
I voted against the fuckers who say opening day is terrible.
I voted for the people who are super into opening day.
I didn't feel like there was a wrong answer here. It's just the people who completely deny baseball and just want to be that guy who's anti everybody else having fun.
Yes, I agree
really
with that.
pisses me
I
off.
agree with that. But I think the reason why I voted the way I did, I think the guy that's super into opening day turns those people into the haters on opening day. So
Also
if they would keep their emotions in check, we wouldn't have the other guy. It's a chicken and the egg type situation.
Fair
So
that
that's why I voted for the guy who's
I like
super
that
into
rationale.
opening
That's why I said there's no real wrong answer.
day. No,
And with a score of 75%, opening day super fans are the motherfuckers.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Interesting.
Not upset to be voting for the losing party on that one like I was, November 2 years ago. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week.
Yeah, this was a fun episode. Are we?
I
there
could
it is.
drink
Okay.
again.
I know, man. I'm glad that you were drinking.
I forgot what it was like.
Especially on a night where I had to eat a potato. I'm super glad that you were able to drink and carry a lot of this show. Because if you had to do this sober while I was eating a potato, that
I'm
would
just
have been
glad
a
I
rough
didn't have to
episode.
take that damn antibiotic anymore. That shit sucked.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for sharing the show. We really appreciate it. Make sure you follow the show at Craft Beast Sports. You can follow Scott at ScottyK_Jr. Follow me at Mike Burlon. Follow Joe at JoeGoalie4. You can hit up the show anytime you want, 440-37-DRUNK. Leave a voicemail. Maybe we'll play it. Maybe you're right and we won't play it. Who knows? I don't know how that...
And you can call us and cuss us out for not playing
and you can get your dad to yell at us in the background and like grandpa to be upset too. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever. That's fine. Reminder, next week, Thursday night, Facebook Live, Craft Brew Sports. 8:30-ish, an hour earlier and a day earlier. 25 hours earlier than normal is when we will be going
That's
live.
some quick math
on
right
Facebook
there.
Live. Boom. Nailed it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Cheers, everybody.
Peace!